Hello everybody, and welcome to the West Ham, my YouTube channel. Of course you already know who I am. The lads will be here very shortly, but I am going to just start on my own because obviously we've had some interesting lineup news. Let's start with West Ham United. I believe we're going to be playing a 5-3-2. The wing-backs are back in the system. Johnson comes in at left wing-back. Soucek obviously playing right wing-back. And Creswell back to his natural centre-back position. The big talking point is, of course, Mark Noble starts again after that Chelsea game in the centre of midfield alongside Rice and Soucek. And I believe, could be wrong, but Jarrod Bowen will play up front with Sebastian Haller. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, what we're saying about this lineup. Do we think it'll work today? Listen, the Noble thing, I'm not a massive fan of. I'm not sure he has that mobility and that athleticism that we need in this side, and it could hurt us. But I guess the wing-back system is important. I think it will suit us against Brighton. It just depends how offensive-minded Moyes is with those wing-backs and whether he gets them forward. If we do, then we should do okay in this game. I know it is frustrating. Megan says, what is this lineup, Noble? I don't think Noble is out of 10. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't think Noble is playing the 10 role. I'll be massively disappointed if that's the case. I imagine it'll be a flat midfield 3. 8 at the back, best form of that run selection plays into their hand. 8 at the back. Best form of, yeah, I agree. Well, look, I mean, let's just see how it works. Let's just see how it works. Run selection. I'm not sure why Noble continues to start. I've heard people say it is negative. Yes, of course it is. It is a bit disappointing to see, particularly with a home side. We should be going out to beat Brighton. You'd hope that those wing-backs play in advanced positions because we're going to need them to. If they don't, it is going to hurt us throughout the game. Sitting back deep against Brighton, a team with such a good press, pushing their entire team on us, they could get chances in this game. That would be my only worry. The Noble thing, I don't understand. I don't understand the Noble thing. I really, really don't. I'll get into the Brighton side because I've got no real explanation as to why he continues to play. But listen, if he can put in a performance today, might suit him to sit a bit deeper. We shall see. Brighton's lineup. They've made a few changes today. Sanchez is in goal. Webster, Dunk, and White at the back. Burn has come in. Dan Burn's come in. I believe we're going to play in a wing-back system with Solly March playing on the left-hand side. Basuma and Lallana playing in the middle. Trossard coming in for Connolly next to Mope and Danny Welbeck as the focal point of the attack. What are your thoughts on the lineup? Yeah, slightly disappointed, mate. Possibly negative. Again, let's just see how we play. Let's just see what the system is. Really wanted Lanzini in there instead of Nobes. Yeah, okay, fair enough. We haven't seen Lanzini for a long time now. 76 of you watching, drop a like just now. Don't we play Tuesday? Yeah, okay. Again, this is the point, isn't it? That's the point of trying to keep the players fresh. But Noble's played 90 minutes, so I'm not quite sure what the plan is behind that at all. Moyes is a dino. Yeah, look. Let's not get too negative. Let's just see exactly how we play the system. And of course, if we do, it might suit us with the wing back. So let's just calm down for 5 seconds. Angus, you all right, mate?
I am, thank you. Maybe not so much after that lineup, but what can you do?
I'm not saying it's good. I really don't. You know, the Noble thing will always elude me. I'm not quite sure why he persists on playing him. The wing backs, thoughts on having that back in the side. Like I said just before there, depends how we play them. It does fall into Brighton's hand if we sit a little bit deeper, but we shall see.
The problem is it almost seems like it's come at the sacrifice of wingers. So you kind of get that, solidarity back in, and I think it's factual that we play better in a 5 at the back system. I think it allowed us to thrive. That formation was a large reason why we were able to pick up the results that we did. But then you think you've virtually got 3 defenders in midfield, or 3 holding midfielders. I don't know how he's going to play Noble today. I'd hope not as a 10.
Someone said as a 10. I don't believe he's going to play him as there's no way.
I think he's being reinvented as a left winger. That's what it is.
I think he'll play him just above the 2 holding, and then have Bowen maybe with Haller or a tiny bit below Haller.
I'd buy into it more if Noble doesn't play the 10. If it was Fornals or Benrahma, I could kind of get it. It feels like we're trying to accommodate Noble in a side that unfortunately he doesn't fit in a lot of systems we play. In a 4-5-1, he hasn't got the athleticism and he presses. In a 4-2-3-1, where you're not going to play him as attacking midfielder. Again, in this system, it doesn't work. The only thing I can think of is he's trying to rest some of the lads for the Southampton game, but we should really be going all out against Brighton to try and get 3 points.
Yeah, exactly. You think then that I don't know. I mean, I think we still haven't figured out if he's resting players, then if he's doing it for the harder fixtures or the easier fixtures. It appeared against Chelsea that he might have been saving players to come out firing today, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't think he rates Benrahma yet. I think it'll be infuriating for the next, could be a month, could be a couple of months that we see him on the bench until, the 80th minute if we're chasing. I mean, that's frustrating because we know how good Benrahma is on the ball. And I think this is another prime example of how much we missed Masuaku as well, because, we're calling out for that pace. I think the only positive to take away from me, I'll be excited to see how Bowen and Hello link up.
Yeah, that's a positive, I guess.
I mean, on the cards, it doesn't look too good, but we'll just see how we go. I mean, Brighton fans, Merry Christmas, because, that's what they must be thinking. We've got so much quality on the bench. We could really go out and hurt them. And if you look at them more, they look the more attacking. Let's be honest, Solly March quality, Trossard, Morpay, and Danny Welbeck. They're three attacking players there that I've just listed. We've got 2 in our team. So yeah.
I've never seen us play a 5-3-2 in my life. So I mean, I want to see what it looks like. I think 10 minutes in, if we're sitting back, I will be disappointed. I hope the wing backs play in more of. I think, to be fair, if West Ham push the wing backs up in this game, we might have a bit of joy. But again, and the only positives may be Bowen alongside Allaire. He has almost a strike partner in this instance. Does that help him a little bit more against Brighton? A lot of questions, lads, to be fair.
The only way I could see this working is if we push the fullbacks up high, because otherwise, if you sit flat back 5, and then you have a whole midfield 3 of Soucek, Rice, and Noble, and then you have Bowen and Haller just isolated up top. I don't know how I can't even see Moyes thinking that would work. He can't be playing for a point at home to Brighton. Took the words right out of my mouth, Angus, that if we had Masuaku playing at left wing back, I would have a bit more confidence in us moving forward, able to get that transition of play. Ben Johnson as a left wing back, I'm not so sure. I've never seen him play left wing back personally.
That was my initial reaction as well.
Yeah, I've seen him play in as flat back 4 a couple of times towards the end of last season. He looked pretty solid, but it's not anything on the kid. I hope he does great, but I've never seen him play it, so that's why I'm a little bit not too sure, mate. But it, as I said on the chat, it could be, and I think it'd be very, very prickish of him to do this. But if Moyes is doing this, just to turn around to the board and say, "Look, I haven't got enough players that I have backing. Look, I'm now having to change this system round every week to fit because I've picked up a couple of injuries. I need insert player. I need insert that player." Because I've said it so many times. Moyes has no problem leaving a player on the bench that he doesn't rate or doesn't necessarily want to fit into a system, which is good that it's initially alone, but why I was a bit like splashing 30 odd million on Benrahma. If Moyes, reports coming out that Moyes didn't want him, Moyes is sitting him on the bench. He's doing the same thing he did to Fornells when he first came into the job. Fornells was probably our best player towards the end of Pellegrini's time. And Moyes throws him out because he didn't rate him at first. The fact that Moyes has dropped Fornells to change a system, which is a gamble, if I'm honest with you. I mean, it's very out of character for David Moyes. David Moyes normally persists with a formation or an idea and players. So that's why I've got this inkling idea that maybe this is some form of saying he's had a conversation with the board and it's gone, well, you're not going to get these players. And he's like, right, well, this is how I'm going to have to play then. I'm going to have to play defensively for a draw at home to Brighton because you haven't backed me.
I hope that's not
part of me that thinks that there might be an element of that because Moyes isn't going to change a plan. He isn't.
I think to be fair, he has changed it before. He has put the 4-2-3-1 and he has changed it from 4-3-3 last. So he has changed it a few times. But I know what you mean, that consistency. Do you not think he looked at that Chelsea game and thought, we can't play with a 4 at the back? Do you think that might have played in, or do you think it's something more cynical, something to do with signings?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's totally before then. I don't think Moyes would throw a game just for signings when we're in this sort of position. But I think there has to be an element of that in Moyes' sort of way he's picked players. I mean, I don't know if the under-23s are still isolating, but there's no youth players on the bench. It's just first-team players. And I think some of our quicker youth team players could have come on or been an option on the bench. But again, I'm not sure if the under-23s are still isolating.
They must be. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can't believe this.
Have your
here we
thoughts on
are.
this lineup?
It's just so negative, isn't it? It's just so negative and slow. There's no pace. There's nothing to give me any cause for optimism, really. I mean, I was going into this game thinking, obviously Brighton is a game that we can go and try and win, especially at home. Brighton haven't had a great start to the season. We've had a pretty decent start to the season. You've got to go and try and go against, especially against Glenn Murray-less Brighton. But I mean, just this formation. I mean, what I will say, the only positive is that we've reverted back to the back five, because clearly the back four hasn't worked for us recently. Chelsea kind of proved that once and for all for us. But I just don't get. I just don't get. Firstly, I don't get Noble starting. Chelsea, he wasn't that bad, but he wasn't that great either. Nothing to suggest that he deserved to start the next game, especially when you got talent like Lanzini and Benrahma and Yarmolenko and all them lot. It didn't make any sense. But then to play him in a midfield three with Bowen starting is fine, obviously, but it's so isolated, that attack now, when you have no pace in Noble. You have Bowen, who does have pace, but is better utilised on the wing, playing centre. You've got no wingers. You've got Allaire playing up top on his own again, and you've got Ben Johnson starting for the first time in ages, having to do basically the main bit of work up and down that left wing. I was coming into today thinking that we could get a win, but honestly, I'd be happy with a draw with this formation, and I really, really hope I'm proved wrong with my negativity, because there's really not a lot to be positive about in that formation. You always kind of say, well, technically, he did this because of this, and he did this because of the last game, and all this, but there's not any logic to it. There's no logic. The back five is the only positive I can take away from that starting lineup.
Yeah. Well, Noble in a 10. Sorry, Angus, mate.
You're right. Exactly. Noble in a 10. And Charles said it perfectly, especially when the options on the bench, to replace him in a 10 role are Lanzini and Benrahma. Benrahma, arguably, he was one of the best players in the Championship last season. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't
sit here and say, we normally sit here and go, we haven't got enough options. But if Noble does play in the 10 role, and I said to you, Angus, before we sort of kicked off with all the other lads, was surely Noble isn't playing the 10. Surely he's playing in a flat midfield 3, because if he does play that 10 role, for me, it doesn't make any sense. You've got Lanzini, Benrahma, Fornals, all the players that would suit that position more than Mark Noble. And I just don't get it. It feels like sometimes we're trying to accommodate him into a side that, listen, I love Mark Noble, but he doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit. We played multiple systems with him in, and his lack of athleticism will hurt us. And, I don't want to be too negative, because I just want to go into this game and let's hopefully get a result, and I'll be proved wrong. But
you're going to have a Mark Noble masterclass on his debut playing on the left wing for us. He's playing on the left wing for us, guys. I'm telling you, he's going to transform into Alex Mustafoy. He just needs to bleach his hair, drink vodka, and start speaking in a Russian accent, and he's going to lead us to the Champions League. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Very quickly, I think Ben touched on it perfectly there. I think the change in the formation isn't that bad. One, we're playing 2 up top with Haller, so that's a good change. So he'll have someone that'll support him a lot closer. And Bowen was actually, half the time when he was performing in the Championship with Hull, it was as a striker. And I think some people don't seem to remember that. But the other thing is, 5 at the back. I think if Noble wasn't starting and Benrahma was maybe starting ahead of him, I think the conversation could be very different. But, I don't get that. I think one other positive I think you can take just before we kick off is Johnson. He hasn't really had that ability to be really attacking. When he's played, it's usually been, he hasn't had much impetus to get forward because he's had to play back. It does seem half the time like he has a bit of pace on him, something about him. So I think that'll be interesting, and we might really need him today to get up, as we will with Soufal. Hopefully he has a really good game, and at least we're starting him and giving him a chance. But it's just I think we could all put out a different starting 11, and on the paper it would seem better than the one that's been put out today, but we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, the way I, in all seriousness, like without Joe trolling about Mark Noble having a masterclass, the way I looked at this, and I've had about 10, 15 minutes to think about it, is that it's done now. This is the formation we've got. Okay, it's frustrating. It may not make sense on paper. There may be some positives and negatives, but one positive I've got from this is that we do have a lot of options on the bench to change things. We've got Benrahma, we've got Lanzini, we've got Yarmolenko, we've got Snodgrass, and we've got defensive cover. So the bench, hey, we've got a strong bench. That's the one thing I'm going to say. I mean, it's unlikely Moyes is going to make a change until we're 1-0 down, lads. Let's be fair. But we do have a strong bench. And also, this is also very typical West Ham, where we'll get turned out by Chelsea. We'll then have a complete mind-boggling lineup, and we'll go and win this game 2-3-0.
I still think we can win this
game.
That's how
100%. We're going to win this game 2-3-0.
It's disappointing, but it's not like, Brighton are as good a football as they do play at times, and as brave as Graham Potter is in trying to play it. We can hurt him. Maybe Moyes is thinking about sitting back and trying to hit him on the counter, and maybe he feels like he can do that. We'd all like to see him play a bit more positive at home. We all agree we've got the options on the bench, but if we get a result, I guess we'll just sit here and part with.
Also, it's a small thing. Like Brighton aren't starting Matt Ryan in goal. They've got another keeper that I've never heard of.
No, they dropped him a few weeks ago for Sanchez.
Yeah.
Maybe Sanchez is going to be a liability. Maybe he's Roberto with a different name.
It's quite good, actually.
Well, he has had a couple of games. That's the thing. That's the slight problem there.
The thing that irks me about the formation...
I've never heard of him, and I always thought Matt Ryan was a bloody good goalie. So
the thing that irks me about the formation change is that we've done well in getting back to the back five. I think the back five was an important factor of our sort of defensive solidarity, especially when it was exposed against Chelsea, who were turned over by Arsenal last night. So we know that we could have done better against them. But it's more the fact that we've had a winning formula for a while now in that back five with the two wingers, and that's been working well for us. And so I don't mind experimentation, but we do have an FA Cup game against Stockport where we could have tried to at least implement this. And I just feel like if we do lose this game, Moyes is going to have a lot to answer for, because with that formation, with the formation that we were doing before we lost Masuaku, we were very positive in European places, and so I don't see why we can implement that today. But look, I mean, like Dennis says, what's done is done. That's the formation, and I want to be proved wrong. I really do. I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope Noble scores a hat trick, and I hope we all go home happy.
Yeah, it's interesting to note. It seems the pressure's almost not in terms of jobs or whatever, but the pressure's starting to mount in terms of we need a result, especially considering that when the games occurred, a loss against Chelsea and a draw against Crystal Palace, based on their form, you look at it and you think either to be expected or it's not that much of a shock. But the reality is Crystal Palace have now conceded 10 goals in 2 games, and we got 1 against them. And Chelsea are looking, incredibly inconsistent. They got smashed around the pitch last night. And so it almost seems like you're starting to see the shift and a bit of frustration here and there. And, I was thinking even before the lineups got released, this is potentially our biggest game of the season, because Brighton have been a team where you kind of know the level already. I think a lot of teams in the Premier League thus far, have beaten bigger teams and then lost to smaller teams. And it's been one of those, couple of months in the Prem. But Brighton just seem to be at their level. Obviously, they've had some good performances and some bad performances, like all clubs do over the course of a season. But, there haven't been, really any massive shocks in there. They haven't lost 7-2 or anything like that. And so you kind of know what to expect. And you know that if we really want to push for Europe or anything like that, this is a team we have to be beating. There's no questions, no questions asked, I don't think, apart from that. We just, it's a game we have to win. And that is the level that we have to exceed to come off, the back of this Premier League season happy.
It feels like we had a bit. It does feel like we had a bit of a blip. I think in the Chelsea game was probably the
100%.
first thing I saw of us being negative. And I think this season, we play in a counter-attacking style, but we wouldn't necessarily say we're a negative team. We try and get numbers forward, and that was a little bit of a concern. Like you say, Angus, I think we have to win today. These are 100% the games that we should be winning if we're aspiring top half or possibly pushing Europe. There's no excuse for it. And you look at the next two games, Southampton and Everton, both in decent form. I know Southampton drew yesterday. Easily could have won 2-0, obviously without the VAR. So, again, we should be getting the 3 points. This is the game we should target, but it does worry you a little bit with the changing.
This season, this game for me is potentially the turning point of the season where we're on a bit of a knife edge. I think it's one of those ones where if we win this, we then go into those tough games against Everton and Southampton a little bit buoyed, a little bit, and also a bit where, let's just say hypothetically, we lose both those games. Where we picked up that win against Brighton. Whereas if we draw or lose here, and then we lose, let's just say hypothetically we lose to Southampton or lose to Everton, next afterwards, and Southampton Everton next. It's like it's going to be so much more of a it's a downer. We're coming into January. We need to invest. Whereas if we can get the 3 points here, and we can come into the next game a bit more positively, it's like it's again so many of those games, like I said, the Fulham game, the Sheffield United game, the Villa game. Those are games that on other seasons we would have lost or drawn. Vice versa, we haven't. Vice versa, Palace. Last season we probably would have won that game, Whereas this season we drew it. Whereas Brighton, this is one where it could really go either way. We don't particularly have a good run against Brighton. We haven't beaten them since they've been in the Premier League. And a win today could be massive for us for what it means, and also the fact that we're midway through the season within 3 points, and other 3 points on top. Whereas if we lose, our heads could seriously drop. And that's
exactly.
More than the formation, more than Mark Noble, more than whether Sebastian Haller's smiling or not. My main concern is the season moving forwards. Is this all I want is to us not have a relegation battle? I'm not saying that we're going to be in a relegation battle if we lose, but this could be one of those games where we look back on and think, oh, bugger, if we had won that one, or if we had pulled out a bigger, put out a stronger 11, tide of the season could have changed, and that's my concern today.
Yeah, in 76 hours, we could be 6 points ahead of where we are now. So this next couple of days is absolutely crucial to set the level for the rest of the season, to set the level for the new year. And so when you put out lineups like that, and it's all fine and well. I reckon if we win, you'd look at it, it'd probably be a frustrating game, but 3 points is 3 points. But then you lose, and he's trying all these different things, and he switched back to the 5 at the back, which is a good call in my opinion. But then he's not got any wingers, and we've got a game in 48 hours, and we're not picking up any points, and that's where you start to see the drop that will really, really hurt us, because it's an incredibly hectic period. And, if we do well, it'll set the course for the rest of our season. And if we don't, then we're going to be in 12th, 13th, 14th. Then we would have thought, shit, like, where's this?
Start looking over our shoulders again, like we were.
Exactly.
But that gap is opening up. Like, we are just below that kind of those top 9, and there is that space. And today, obviously, there is an emphasis on us going and getting a win if we want to be in that kind of pack. Obviously, Dennis has touched on this, but I've just got the bench up, and the options that we have. You've got Lanzini, Snodgrass, Fornals, obviously Randolph, Yarmolenko, Benrahma, Dawson, Diop, Fredericks. It's a it's
better than our starting lineup.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, and this is what I never got on against Chelsea with the Noble thing. And I don't want to keep bashing the point, but I didn't get what it is. Is it to rest a player, or does he believe it's tactically? And you look at it now, him playing 2 games, is it a tactical thing? And I'm just not sure that it works. So again, if he has a poor performance today, it will feel a little bit like he'll become that scapegoat again. But Moyes is playing him when he possibly shouldn't do.
Well, the thing is, he's not alternating the team, clearly, because we're still playing the majority of players that we played most of this season. So it's not a case of resting players. And I wouldn't have minded if it was a case of resting players for either the Southampton game or the Everton game or something like that, because, at least at that point, it's obvious that, that we're doing that. But this formation is just, I want to be positive, and I want to aim for us to get 3 points, but I'm really intrigued to see how we do in this first half, because if it doesn't work, then we need to shift immediately back.
I'm going to go grab my beer before we start, lads.
Go on, you're going to need it.
I think it's definitely a game that we're still well and truly in, and I think it's still expected that we pick up a win here. But then, what sort of a precedent does it set for other teams? Then do we play an even worse team and go with 5 at the back with 3 holding?
The thing is with 5 at the back, it all depends on how you play it, right? And I think it does suit us. And I think, look, Brighton, from what I've seen, they'll concede a lot of width and they play through the middle a lot of the time. And you kind of look at West Ham, if we can push, Soufal, or we can push Ben Johnson, which again is an unknown entity because we haven't seen him play at left wing back forward, maybe we'll be all right. But the problem is we've not seen this. So I haven't got a clue what it looks like, what he's trying to do. I think we'll get a clear impression probably first 5. And if it is defensive-minded, then of course, you massively be disappointed. We should be beaten Brighton. There's no excuse, really.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's completely... I mean, all of us are into the unknown at this stage because we've never seen this formation implemented. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting first half. I mean, I like Ben Johnson and Soufal as wing backs. All that pace that you've got, going up there and the work rate that they have. But I just think the fact that they're being overloaded with that work, and Bowen is being overloaded with the attacking duties. Essentially, he's basically going to have to sort out all the attacking duties to sort out for Allaire. I've just seen the lineup now, and Sky Sports have it as Bowen and Allaire up front. I don't have it as that. I mean, X has said himself, I think, that Bowen's playing behind Allaire.
I had it as a 2 up front. Just from what I'd seen, I thought that may be what he was going to try.
That's what I was thinking, but then I saw X's tweet, and X says that essentially Noble's going to play just in front of the 2 midfielders, and then Bowen in front of him. So it's like we're having 2 number 10s, which again doesn't make a lot of sense. But
a number 10 and a number 10 and a half.
A number 10.
It's like a 3-4-1-1-1.
It's honestly, lads, this is Mike Bassett, England manager, when he tries to mess around with the core.
There's no doubt. Watch that film. There's no doubt that Bowen will push up alongside Allaire for me. There's no doubt.
He'll have to. But yeah, no, it's. I mean, I like to call it the Dick formation, which is aptly named for someone like David Moyes choosing this formation today. But I'm hoping for a positive result. I really am, and we should be like Angus says, we should be beating these boys. But this first half is going to be interesting for sure.
This is the thing, like they play some good stuff, but ultimately they haven't really got that cutting edge. Welbeck does give them it, and that is the difference that we've been in the past few weeks. But really and truthfully, even when I did the preview, I thought we'd play 4 at the back, and I thought really Soufal and Creswell probably won't be under too much pressure. And I think the way Brighton play would suit us with a back 4 and 2 holding midfielders. So to go almost a 5-man midfield from what Sky Sports have said is a bit football fun.
Well, one thing we can't do is concede a set piece like we did against Chelsea, because then obviously that puts us A, 1-0 down early on, and B, with the formation that we've got, it's not looking like an immensely attacking one. So,
we'll see.
I think.
Come on, boys.
I'm fine with the formation now. I've had enough time to deal with it, and I think it's actually, honestly, it's not that bad. The Noble. If Benrahma had started instead of Noble,
it's the personnel for me.
Yeah, it's just the personnel,
and
it's only the one. It's just the one for me. It's just the Noble starting there.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
So we narrow it down to that.
We've always sat here and said with Noble, if you're going to play him, you play him in a holding midfield role where his pressing is limited. And every time I watch Noble in this side, he's asked to press, and I never get it. I never understand
because at no point has Mark Noble's game been pace. At no point in his career.
No, exactly. Not even early on.
When he was a bit more box to box, and he's never been fast. He's had a bit of he could carry the ball, but he had
one amazing run in the playoff semi-final against Ipswich. That's the fastest I've ever seen him, and that was when he was 19.
He was 15 at the time.
Yeah,
it's the fastest he's ever run.
Come on, West Ham, prove us all wrong.
It does speak volumes for his longevity. I was in the second year of secondary school when he made his debut for West Ham, and he's still bloody playing.
I know, mate. It's crazy, isn't it? For a lot of us, we've never really not seen a Noble team without you. It's
just then already, like Rice is trying to look for someone to head the ball to, and Noble's gone out on the wing. So maybe you are right, Dennis. Maybe he's turning into a left winger.
He's turning into. He's the second coming of Alexandra Mustavoy, who at 34 changed from a central midfielder attacking mid to a left winger.
but the thing is, but it's just stupid from the point of view that Rice has no options there. Now Welbeck's in behind.
Commentators have even acknowledged Mark Noble not being the greatest against Chelsea and his selection being controversial.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're watching the channel, lads.
He does look a bit like he's playing in an advanced 10 role. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Maybe Moyes knows something we don't, but I doubt it.
Oh yeah, the all-knowing Moyes. That worked against Chelsea.
But I don't think anyone's actually sat there and, why are you playing Noble? I've never heard of it.
I bet Nolan's brought that up. He's like, mate.
Kevin Nolan. I got dropped for less.
Oh.
To be fair, Nolan wasn't playing at Christmas. Man. He's back home. Bissouma's going to be dangerous for Brighton. He's a really
100%. He's already attracted, interest from top six. So
if you give him too much space,
yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like Bowen's just literally he's gonna have to run that whole centre attacking part of the field. It does look like
he's set up just to counter Brighton's attacks, but then we forgot. Oh wait, we need quick players to counter. Shit.
Well,
to counter, yeah. Exactly.
Well, Alaire's coming deep again. Honestly, I don't really.
That will never work. That will never work in this formation. Hilaire coming deep. He needs to be on the last man of the shoulder and getting full. On the shoulder, the last man and getting full.
In beyond, and his players he's asking is Noble and Bowen. It's like I don't think that's.
Balbuena was some pretty bad defending there.
Oh my god.
I just don't get why we're giving Brighton all the possession. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. We're giving the respect. Brighton are not a team that expect to have a lot of the ball in any sort of game. So
yeah.
And with someone like Lamptey out as well, you could really do damage.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to wish injury on anyone, but Lamptey out benefits us hugely. What a player!
It's massive.
Congratulations, Soufal, on your new edition,
Baby.
Christmas edition.
People were asking X if he's still going to play, and I'm pretty sure X just paraphrased Roy Keane. Was he the one having the baby?
Yeah, I saw that, to be fair.
Something like that, yeah.
Go on, boys. Oof. This has the potential to be like a really boring game.
Yeah, my prediction. I have this down as a 0-0, lads. Just full disclosure.
I think someone's going to.
That would be atrocious. I think there will be a goal, but I honestly can't tell you which way it will go. To be fair, certainly from the first 5 minutes, Brighton had the possession. I mean, this is the sort of thing you'd expect when we're like 3-0 up or 3-1 up. The reason why we're not talking much, guys, on the chat is because there's really not a lot going on.
Nothing happening.
No.
To be fair, these commentators have a tough job. Far out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's literally nothing is going on, lads. It's again the Simpsons bit. Centre holds it. It's just keeper kicks it long. Someone headers it down.
How many times?
Brighton have the ball again.
How
And
many
it's
times?
just like the Simpsons.
Yeah.
I thought you'd like that one. Part of me thinks that Mope is going to be the new Glenn Murray for Brighton. He's going to be our bogeyman because he's the one.
No, he's Arsenal's, but he's Arsenal's bogeyman.
He is Arsenal's bogeyman as well. To be fair,
My current favourite meme after the Arsenal win yesterday was like everyone expecting Arsenal fans to have a Christmas meltdown, and it's a picture of Mope as Thanos.
Oh.
He grabs the gauntlet. He goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
We're waiting.
That's one of the biggest.
Oh, fuck
That was one of the
hell.
biggest shithouse moments of the year. That Arsenal Brighton game.
I know, as you know, I love it. I love a good shithouse.
Yeah, you do. On another note, everyone go watch Dennis's Hammers 11. I watched it yesterday. It was good.
If you could get through all the rambling at the beginning.
I'll tell you what, I like the rambling because it gets
He wanted
to let you know who this Dennis person is.
He wanted to get to know why I became a West Ham fan. I was like, well, it's a long, winding road that begins at the 1998 World Cup.
I love how you just completely. Your dad just said no, don't be a Watford fan.
Yeah, no, you're not supporting Watford. They'll only let you down.
And to be fair, I think you've made a good decision there.
I don't know.
But then you chose West Ham.
Until last season, Watford and West Ham were pretty even Stevens for quite a few years.
I didn't realise we'd not beaten Brighton in the Premier League.
No, we've not beaten Brighton since Vastey's madness in 2012.
And I was there. What a game!
We beat Brighton both times that year because we beat them 1-0 with a Kevin Nolan goal and a shithouse performance.
Outside the box, wasn't it?
Outside the box from a defensive error, but we were terrible that game.
Yeah, we were.
Absolutely terrible away at the Amex. That was when Brighton were like, because of the investment they had, they were a massive promotion favourite. It was between them, us, and I believe Cardiff were the three favourites to go up, and only we did.
Oh my God, Noble!
Oh, what's he done now? I think I'm a little bit behind you. We're about to take a corner.
Nice.
Corey, where are you?
8 minutes 3.
See, that's the thing. You could have been 5 minutes ahead of us or 5 minutes behind us, and no one would have found out yet because nothing's happened.
Yeah, exactly.
We've just got a corner. It's the first time.
Oh, fucking hell! Retire.
That was a shocking bit of football.
I don't mean that, Noble.
Stay on, please.
It now wins the prize of worst cross I've ever seen. Like, we're talking ever, not just this season, ever.
It was absolutely abysmal. It was abysmal.
It's like if it was Gale Force wins, I'd forgive him, but they can't. Like,
there are Gale. To be fair, there is a storm going on, but I don't think that was why that was such a bad corner.
No, the storm's passed anyway. I think we had it pretty bad last night, where I am. You kind of feel like, the roof was going to blow off at times.
See, Noble can't even pass. Like, that's the only attribute that he possesses now is his passing ability, but he can't even do that.
I don't think I've even.
And for the record, I fucking love Fabianski for the watcher that asked the opinion of Fabianski.
Get ready for a Fabianski clanger.
Don't you do that to me?
No, he's the Polish prince.
Who's the Red Wall or whatever? Dennis
Red
called
Wall,
it.
as Dennis
Cool.
calls
Yeah,
it.
I like my communist European references.
I can't make out whether I've seen this Noble cross or not. He's done one.
Yeah,
It's after the first corner.
No, you missed it.
Yeah,
Corey. You must have missed it.
I think I saw it.
It literally went up in the air about two inches in front of him.
He sort of kicked it in the air, like as if like he's
No, he
kicking off
kind
at
of hung
rugby.
it in the
And
air,
it sort of got caught in the wind and then went back towards him a little bit, bounced.
Oh
and
yeah,
out.
no, I saw that. Yeah.
Like
You're used to it now, Corey.
I thought he was going out the stadium when I first saw it because you can't see it. It's like on itself. So I was like, nice one, Nobes. Oh, he's got done there, Bowen, where I'm at.
this has all the hallmarks of that boring goalless draw that you have every season that you never remember. Like you go back a couple of years, you'd be like, wait, what was Brighton West Ham at home? Did we play them at home? Oh, it was that goalless draw.
I mean, honestly, Brighton would be happy with the goalless draw. And
So, yeah, exactly, a clean sheet. But
Yeah, Gratchwell's
I
a
didn't
fancy team. I'll
realise-
take a clean sheet.
I didn't realise how negative we were going to be. Like I thought, okay, surely not, and we are genuinely not.
we've not even penetrated their attacking half really.
No,
Not for a
at all.
sustained period of time, at least.
And if you want to play counter-attacking football, fine, but we haven't even done that. So
We can't no pace.
Yeah, we can't because we don't have any bloody wingers.
give it to Bowen.
Give it to Bowen, he'll do it.
That's all we've got. It's like, oh.
And
Yeah,
that's the thing I feel bad for.
another film reference at Charles. Have you seen There's Only One Jimmy Grimble?
No, I haven't.
There's a bit where the guy's dad, he takes over the management. He goes, his solution is just to give it to his son. So for the entire game, he's going, give it Gordon. Give it bloody Gordon. That's going to be us now. Give it Jordan. Give it Jordan.
Give it Jordan.
Just give it to Jordan.
I'm sure if I watched that movie, I'd be all over the place with that reference.
Yeah. No, it is a good film.
I mean, look at those. So you're about to see some attacking stats from Brighton, and defensively, we should be able to prevent them from doing anything, too bad. But
Noble picked up on the left hand side.
We have an attacking throw in, and we end up passing it back to our halfway line. That is the West Ham way. For anyone that is watching this, isn't a West Ham fan, has wondered when we say the West Ham way, what are we on about? That's the West Ham way. That is the West Ham way, being an attacking position and then passing voluntarily going back to your halfway line. Fucking hell.
We've got to go forward. Why have we done that? That's ridiculous.
we've got some Brazilian fans in the chat.
Boca Juniors are Argentinian.
Argentinian, sorry. I was thinking to myself, as soon as I said it, that was like a Tristan moment.
Come on,
for me. I was
Carlos
like,
Tevez.
As soon as I saw it,
Tevez,
I
Charles.
know.
It's
I
not
know,
like, Diego
apologise,
Tristan or
apologise.
anything.
I was notoriously bad at geography at school, so.
Brighton shooting accuracy 20th in the league, and we're trying to sit
Well,
back.
that's what I mean. It's like, exactly, go for it,
Well, he's got a ball forwards, and Bowen has the ball. No, he doesn't. I think it's a corner.
It is. Boy,
Oh
on a
my
corner.
God.
I don't know who that is, but it looks like Neil from In Between Us is playing for Brighton.
Is it Dunk?
Oh yeah.
Dunk. It looks like Neil from In Between Us all of a sudden.
Yeah, he
Never
does
used
a
to
bit.
look like that.
God, it's so. Brighton
We're just
are
playing
there.
for fucking
Brighton
corners, aren't
are
we?
there for the taking. They really are.
Yeah, we're
It's
just
so
short
frustrating.
corner. Oh God, here we go. Oh, it wasn't as bad as last time. Bowen hits it over the bar and spits very nicely for the camera. Thank you, Jordan.
I mean, at least he's trying to get something started for us, but
Point is because there's not enough people around him.
exactly.
Come on, good ball. No, not good ball.
I mean, when you've got freaking Webster, when you're scared of Webster at left back, you know that you're playing negative football.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, DJ. Hope you had a good one.
That's what it is, Mark Noble for Christmas asked to play up front, asked to play as a number 10 for West Ham, and so David Moyes has given him his Christmas wish.
Well, my dad was saying that he doesn't expect Noble to get a pay-as-you-play contract. He's expecting him to get another 1 year deal, full-time deal. as a player.
Surely not.
Because it'd be disrespectful to him, and I understand that. But just as a player, he can't play. He can't play anymore at a high level.
You think then that Nobes realizes that, and that he's probably doing an injustice potentially?
I think he's got too much pride to do that.
Football club and his competition.
Noble, while he wears a West Ham shirt, will always. But you have to question the fact that has he not realised, at this stage that maybe he can't do what the team needs him to do.
That's what I'm banging on about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and same with the armband. At what point do you you turn it into a transition rather than a, bang bang change between. I mean, we are in a bit of a transition, to be fair, but only because he doesn't start most games.
Well, the funny thing is, Angus, is I actually think Rice. I view Rice as our captain now. I actually view Rice.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same. So it feels so weird then, as I've said, when Noble comes on as a sub and Deck hands the armband over. That's what I mean. It just doesn't feel right.
That's just to respect higher.
Brighton just nearly scored.
Really? Oh god.
Nearly.
See, I'm watching on Now TV as well, Charles, and I'm somehow a little bit behind you. I don't get this.
I never understand our timings, to be fair.
Either there's slightly better internet in insert location where you are this week. But Plymouth,
Windsor, but
who's the Wycombe?
Wycombe, Windsor, Manchester.
That was just a diversion. But yeah, because to be fair, the other week you were way ahead of me on Now TV, so I don't get it.
Don't worry, lads. Amazon Prime for Southampton, so we'll all be
Amazon Prime for Southampton, and we can,
Murdoch's dirty.
Close there.
Murdoch? No, Bezos. Murdoch owns Sky.
We are let.
Bezos doesn't own Sky.
No, but Bezos owns Amazon.
This isn't Amazon though.
I know, but you were saying Bezos. Don't worry. I think we just got a wise boss then.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we should. Well, to be fair, I'd rather have that conversation than this conversation about the game now.
Run, whoever that is. Oh, that's not a foul. Kufel, that was. It was moving forwards.
We're just letting like the likes of Trossard pick up the ball and Mope come deep, and we're not. It's just frustrating.
Go on, Ben. Oh, unlucky son.
Forward.
Really want Ben Johnson to have a good game today.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Go on.
Because I think people have sort of gone cold on him recently.
To be fair, he was pushing up really high there.
This is actually a good
nearly
point.
got caught out then.
Noble plays 90 minutes against Chelsea, and it starts in this game as well.
I literally don't. I mean, I think
one
of you boys said, one of you boys, I think, said the other night that I bet he's going to play 90 minutes, and the fact that it's so predictable that he could play 90 minutes of football, even though he shouldn't be, is just telling of how stupid a decision it is from Moyes.
Come on, West Ham, we lose the ball so much in this game.
I wonder what Moyes is thinking on the touchline now. Like, if this is gone to plan so far or not, because you genuinely can't tell. You cannot tell.
This is perfect. It's 0-0. Let's keep it like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hope we get something in the last 20.
Or we keep it like this, and then we bring on we bring on Benrahma and for example, Yarmolenko, and change the game a little bit. Take off Noble and maybe Haller or something, and have Yarmolenko as a false nine with Bowen and Benrahma either side of him.
It's such a gamble though, because as soon as we go 1-0 down, if that does happen, and obviously Brighton have already had a good chance this half, you're asked so much more. The lack of intent that you put at the start of the game. If we were to go 1-0 down now, Brighton would know exactly what we would want to do. Half time, put an attacking sub on, and they can just counter that easy. So it's it's one of those things where you have at the end of the day you have to start games off well if you are looking to cause problems. So
come on.
Yeah.
This is truly an abysmal game of football.
It's really bad. I mean, I've watched really about 30 seconds of 20 minutes.
It is honestly so boring.
I'm trying to pick the bones out of it, but there's
Yeah.
not really a lot.
You can't.
I listen to it a lot, but that Simpsons clip where they watch the football when everyone's bored literally just happened in the middle of the park where someone gets a hold, they hold it, and they hold it,
Oh God!
and they hold it.
This is just diabolical.
It's like you're still watching the warm-ups.
We need a Benrahma in there just to pick the ball up and keep it and run at players.
Can you imagine?
No,
Very quickly, can you imagine if Benrahma was playing right now?
No, because Moyes would never do it.
Yeah, but
exactly.
he'd just be charging at people for fun, you know.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, but Angus, would you rather have a 24-year-old youngster with great potential and skills, or would you rather have a 33-year-old who hasn't got any legs anymore?
I know which one.
Yeah,
I know who I'd want.
I know what you mean, man. We're all in agreement here. We're respecting Brighton way too much for a team that's got the 20th for shot accuracy in the league.
They've got 70% possession in this first half so far. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's honestly ridiculous.
Well, they drew 1-1 with a 10-man Sheffield United. Firstly, they've got 10 men. Secondly, it's Sheffield United.
This is ironically the game where we could play a back four and we would be all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go to back five now. No, against Chelsea.
Actually, wouldn't have minded it.
Well, ultimately, again, without going into, we might as well start analysing West Ham's wider things because fuck all's going to happen in this game. It just then goes back to my rants against Chelsea about the recruitment. Ultimately, it comes down to fucking recruitment. And I joke about this, and obviously, be careful not to upset people, but I can't wait for Golden Sullivan to get the COVID jab so Bill Gates can take control of them. So then maybe Bill Gates can run our football club.
I do blame them I blame them massively. And listen, we've obviously heard rumours for things of saying that there's no money in January and things, which I think because apparently we're halfway towards being safe, which is a ridiculous comment to make. But again, you look at the team, mate. He does have 3 players: Lanzini, Benrahma, and 4 play ahead of Noble, and he still hasn't done it.
He has players that could improve the team, of course, but obviously the manager wants to play a certain way. He wants certain players, and David Moyes is boneheaded enough to stick with that, rather than say, right, well, I've got these 2 quality players on my bench. Let's find a way. He views it from the old school manager point of view of rather than finding a system to make it work for them. We need to work. We need to train them to work into my system, which is what he did with Fornells.
Took
him a long time.
Too deep.
That Bowen shot when the ball just went out. Oh my God.
This is the thing. Look, Andy Smith says this. Look, we have attacking options, and he's just choosing not to use them.
Yeah, and also I think Moyes doesn't really have a backbone when it comes to the owners because he's basically trying to impress them to get a new contract. So, go on.
He's back in training, is Mickey? I mean,
yeah.
I reckon Southampton Everton might be a bit too soon for him, but give him a run out against Rochdale.
No, he's getting 90 minutes in 2 days' time.
We know that's going to happen. Yeah,
that high line of Southampton's made for Mickey. It's the Atlanta Mickey show again. They always perform when they're playing against.
Yeah, they do. To be fair, they do.
I haven't got a problem with that, though. I haven't got a problem with keeping Antonio out to make sure he's fully fit. Obviously, because of last time. But this game is to be won in that midfield, and we're just not.
Johnson just puts in a very good ball. He's just unlucky no one can get on the end of it.
We're definitely pushing those fullbacks up as high as we can. Even when our holding players have got it, they are literally playing on the line of Brighton's defence, which is quite interesting. And to be fair, last couple of minutes we've had a bit more impetus about us, but I don't know how. Again, I don't know how we're going to score the goal because we're whipping balls into the box, and it's Seb scoring a header seems so unlikely. We
haven't had
anything happen.
Deliveries in.
The deliveries first 15 minutes were really, really poor. Soufal kept hitting the first defender every time, but I don't know. All it takes is one, and we've turned on a bit. I think we switched on a tiny bit more.
Well, like you boys were saying, like Al's just not going to get any reception this form.
come
He's not going to
on.
get any decent reception this formation.
I've just seen
To
a
be fair,
passage. I know I'm behind you, but Noble's sitting a bit deeper and Rice and Soucek pushing up. That's got to be the way we approach this game. Got to try and introduce them to it.
Yeah, that's what should happen, but.
And then now I know Noble's back in his 10 role, so
no, he's back. We have 2 number 10s today. We have upper and lower number 10.
God.
It's like so many like blocks of flats. You've got 10A and 10B.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mate.
3-header for Brighton.
Andy Smith, we might see our attackers in the cup, and we've got to see him at some point, mate. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think we'll ever see Lanzini and Benrahma start a Premier League game together.
In the League Cup, well, the first 2 games of the League Cup, then he did in the league at times, didn't he? Well, I wouldn't say a better lineup. I mean, just more a progressive, a more, the sort of lineup you would have thought we would play.
Yeah.
Oh,
Safe hands.
Trying to see
that
what
was
everyone's
Thiago
reaction is.
Silva all over again.
Please don't tell me it's the zonal marking thing again.
Oh, I don't know whose man that was, but
Just a side note, boys. Is anyone worried about Antonio's eating habits recently? Because if you watch the video, the Christmas video, he was stuffing himself with popcorn, and then just now they showed him with the Stratford Brasserie bag. So I hope he's not filling himself too much.
He's bulking.
doesn't matter.
He doesn't need to bulk anymore.
150 kilos. He'd still be our fastest player.
Yeah, he would, to be fair.
He bulked up massively a few years ago, and it actually hurt his actual fitness because he could only do about 20 minutes.
I think he kept like getting very minor pulls and tears to muscles because he was just too muscular.
Yeah. Oh, that's poor. That's really poor.
It's interesting. Similar, or not exactly, but similar story with Lamptey's out muscle strain, and they're going to put him into speed management. Apparently, they're going to put him into speed management apparently because it's just the pace that he's got is causing his body a bit more harm than good at the moment. And I think almost the same as the case with Mickey. You know, he's so good, in quick attacks, but it's just getting to that point now where.
You know what it is as well. Now he's got his new contract. It's gonna be that typical thing. Nothing on him, but you always give a player a contract, and then so they're not quite as good as they were before.
Yeah,
Gets injured. There's no that urgency back. He's got that contract, and now things are going to go bad for him.
Hopefully not.
I honestly would have rather read through the Brexit deal than watch the first 28 minutes of this game.
Don't get me started.
It's honestly been so boring.
I'm really struggling to figure out what is actually going on.
You can't even take.
If you imagine you're watching this actually at the game, you start playing fucking I Spy, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like nothing's going on. That's why you can't figure it out. Essentially, you don't need to.
It's a game that is crying for Benrahma. He's absolutely insane. Please give him the time and the space, and he will seriously hurt them if we get enough men forward. I mean, imagine if Benrahma comes on and we've got Ales behind him. It's just gonna. Oh God.
Moyes sticking the middle finger up at the camera. Love it.
Did he actually do that?
Yeah, I mean, not intentionally, but I think he's trying to sort the formation out, and he sticks his middle finger up. Look out for that. It's a nice little tidbit.
But he is Scottish, so it could be very intentional.
Yeah, it could be, to be fair. I would be sticking my middle finger up at the players.
That's actually class.
Have you seen it, Angus?
I've just seen it. It's fucking brilliant.
You didn't need to do it, but you did it.
First half highlight. That is the first half highlight.
That's like the squad selection, mate.
He goes at this.
He didn't need to do it, but he did do it. I love it. I love that he did it.
It's the highlight of the first half. That is what I'm going to remember.
That is funny,
David Moyes basically telling him to fuck the opposition.
Well, at least we've had a laugh.
What can I say? It's been a Mark Noble masterclass.
God. Lovely lofted ball to no one.
It has been
Noble pressing, fantastic.
pressing. Was that sarcastic or?
It's not really even a press. It's sort of
I say press. I mean, he's on the halfway line. And he jogs up to the edge of the
a couple of steps to the side. No one's. I mean, even technically speaking, just basic football we're getting wrong. I mean, I've seen people lose control of the ball, not control it properly, lost loose passes. It's just it's dull and terrible football from us right now.
And again, like I said, go back my argument, the style of players. I don't care about the style of play as long as we get results. If we had gone 1-0 up and we're playing like this, I'd say, all right, but we're winning. But the fact is we're not. And we haven't really had any chances. I mean, we've won corners from Brighton defending crosses or cutting out passes. I mean, Brighton are the only ones that have had shots on target. So
yeah,
it's pretty abysmal, if I'm honest with you.
Brighton bet they can't believe their luck.
It's like it's a pre-season. Like they think they're playing fucking Havant and Waterloo than a pre-season friendly or something.
The annoying thing is that it's a bad game when Angus doesn't have anything to analyse. I'm waiting for that analysis.
No, there's absolutely.
It's the type of game that plays into my hands with just trolling.
I know we don't want to get into that.
You're just trolling people.
Honestly.
Honestly, man. Honestly, please, Moyes, just change it. Please, just change it. I'm begging you.
No.
There is nothing.
Bonnie Hammer's got it wrong. Bonnie Hammer's got it wrong. Sullivan is Scrooge. 1,000,000%. There never, ever has a comparison been more accurate than David Sullivan and Scrooge. Ever.
Look at this comment. Why are we setting up like we're playing Man City?
Honestly, they've got 70% possession. Like, we're making them look like they're City right now.
Basically, they're wearing blue, so David Moyes has panicked. What if it's Chelsea, Everton, City?
Oh my God. No, they're in behind. Oh, thank God. Side netting.
It's a decent ball from Johnson, but never mind. No one's in the box.
Yeah, Johnson's the only one.
I said the thing. We've set up. It looks like we set up for a point. That's why I reckon it's going to be 0-0.
I wonder what would happen if David Sullivan got visited by 3 ghosts. Probably offer them Rise of Craze, wouldn't they?
Yeah, the ghost of Christmas past, Radislav.
Pay him off in instalments, probably.
Do you ever charge my DVD?
I'm trying to write reviews of Rise of the Craze. David Sullivan Christmas Ghost 1.
God,
this is just depressing to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just all take a step back here. This is just absolutely horrendous.
I mean, look, Moyes has to watch it and go. He has to go. They aren't gonna hurt us. I'm not just saying this. They genuinely. I just can't see Brighton. Other than that ball over the top, where they've literally got one man on his own, they can't hurt us. So why are we sitting?
Exactly. Even then, against 10 Premier League clubs, arguably that's 1-0 to them, and that was a horrific shot. He could have squared it. He could have done anything. Could have tried to take on the last defender, and he shot it near post, and it's gone wide.
Too much respect.
It's one of those things where you've got to take a risk and say, oh, you know what? Well, as long as they don't convert, then and.
The thing is as well, Angus, like, if we take the risks and allow Brighton to come onto us, we can hit them on the counter. But we're giving them so much possession that nothing's going to happen in this game. Both teams are happy with it.
And those players will know, and it was the same against Chelsea, same against Palace as well. They will know that we don't have the individual threat or the pace to hurt them. So subconsciously, they'll be pushing up more than they usually would, the Brighton players. to try and hurt us because they know that they're not going to get done for speed or anything like that. You know, there's absolutely no secrets to the way that we're going to try and get a goal here. If
anything, it's a detriment to Brighton as well, the way they play, because really they should really have taken advantage of us better than they have. But also
Tough to break down that low block.
yeah, well, exactly. But I mean, Bowen has just conceded a foul. I tell you what, he comes charging out like Usain Bolt out of the blocks there.
Yeah,
and he needs so much space in behind him. Like, it's actually lucky that he fouls the player.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he gets turned there,
he's done for.
All over. But again, it's Brighton.
Yeah, so we'll pass it back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that to bite me on the arse.
Yeah. I'm a bit worried, keep saying they've got no threat. And then all of a sudden something's going to happen.
I mean, the thing is they do.
Neil Maupay is always a threat, in my opinion.
I'm more worried about Danny Welbeck. His turn of pace here.
Welbeck's the guy.
Play really well.
Yeah. It would be fitting for West Ham not to concede from Maupay.
Welbeck is like the bane of my life when it comes when he was playing for England and things like that. He'd always like just fucking fall over. I remember there was one time he scored while falling over for England, and I was just like, all that man does is fall over. He's like Bambi on ice. So no doubt he'll now score.
Benteke, an out of form Tammy Abraham, and Danny Welbeck. That would be the way that we would concede, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
All failed David Sullivan signings.
No, not Abraham. I don't think we ever
Not Abraham. But Danny Welbeck would be I bet David Sullivan will be gutted if.
I'm still shocked we haven't signed Daniel Sturridge on a free transfer.
It's coming, mate.
DJ's actually spot on. It's like playing a game of FIFA, but not controlling anyone. Just putting the controller down and watching it. That's nearly conceded.
Welbeck nearly scored then.
Yeah, he did.
He came close.
I like that, Lawrence. That's good. That's a good one.
Well, the things we're watching it with crowd noises. The thing
Come on.
If it's no crowd noises, you hear Noble screaming, effing and blinding. I don't think I'll put the baby to bed.
Oh, twice on that ball in from Brighton caused some issues with Danny Welbeck.
I love watching Seb try and pass it around. He's literally playing essentially probably a centre mid role. not in the box. He's on the edge of the D now, waiting to receive a cross. Bowen passing it in. This is no, I'm not saying anything.
It's tragic.
It is tragic, and nothing changes. It's the same old thing in the first 5 minutes. I didn't bother to point it out, but Seb literally pushed into our own half to receive a throw in from right back, and it's just like, what is going on?
It's just such a shame from set pieces. They are awful at defending.
How have we?
And we just haven't hurt them. We haven't even had one shot.
Oh, fucking hell! It's just we struggle to retain possession at the best of times, but it's like it's just fucking. We touch the ball twice and Brighton get the ball back.
I've just seen a tweet on from Sam Ingersoll saying that apparently Paul Nevin, one of the more sort of quieter coaches on the sideline, has said "effing wake up." So I think you know that the bench aren't happy with it either.
What were they? They've also had longer off because they haven't had to play Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, though, none of this is a surprise. You don't. Yeah. No, it's not a surprise.
This is the definition of imagine my shock. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm honestly just like checking Twitter, trying to see what everyone's reaction is.
I just don't get it. I don't get what the point is. I don't get what he's trying to do.
I don't get it.
He's trying to win the game. Is he just not just like, I don't know. I don't get it. It's so like.
And in the words of Dennis Watling, I told you so. As everyone else
telling you anything you don't already know.
I didn't want to tell you I told you so.
Yeah,
I told you so.
But also in regards to the Moyes contract debate, I'm sure we'll have it after the game, depending on what the result is. But You know, people are saying give Moyes a 5-year deal, which I don't think a lot are, but I think a lot of people are wanting him long term.
I just want to see what he says. I want someone to ask him a direct question. What was why did you play that for?
Oh, come on, Ale.
Yeah, I wish there was more accountability in football
There isn't,
in terms of,
it's poor.
you know, reporters just, most of them don't get the option. They don't have the choice to ask those types of questions.
It's because
That's
they
true.
You get the generic answer off the back of it as well.
they'll be like, did you see Declan Rice's TikTok the other day? It's like, no.
What do you make of Seb Haller not smiling every time he was caught offside? Lee Clayton, TalkSport.
Oh my God, it's actually just abysmal. But yeah, no, you are right, Angus. There needs, I mean, throughout the club, there needs to be more accountability, like from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Come on.
They should put a poll out before match day. West Ham fans get to decide the team.
Oh, mate, no, because Mark Noble will still somehow get in the team. Because like Spurs fans will hijack it, and like Craig Dawson will be captain. No.
I'd love Dawson to make his debut. I'm waiting for it still. Angus is quivering in his boots, waiting for it.
Well, just it's ridiculous.
There's just no energy. There's no energy. There's no passion. There's no
it's
anything.
just stupid, man. It's just stupid what we're doing.
We're getting turned so easily as well. So easily.
Oh, another good save by Fabianski, but they just walked through. I didn't actually see who it was. I think it was Trossard. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it is. Or is it Solly March?
Solly March just danced past people. Like, Christ almighty.
It's too easy. It's too easy. That's way too easy.
Oh, bedtime.
What time is it over
Doesn't
there?
matter what time it is. 11 a.m.
Yeah.
1 p.m. If you're watching this game, it's bedtime.
What time is it over there?
It is 11 p.m. Not actually that bad, but
That's
I
quite
think
early.
even Russ is probably fallen asleep watching this game live.
Yeah. I'm just about.
Won't be any music at halftime.
Be 2 minutes silence the way this is going.
There's not going to be a. There's not going to be a watch-along highlight video after this.
Oh, jeez.
Save Corey a bit of work.
God.
Post-match review is just going to be. He's just going to be Corey in his nightcap snoozing.
Oh, 1-0 Brighton.
No way.
Really?
Awful defending.
No way.
Despicable defending. Like, despicable. You'll see it.
Oh, fucking hell. You've got to win that.
Despicable. Actually despicable. What the hell?
I'm saying that knowing what's coming.
Just watch. It's
They're backing off Solly March. They're backing off Solly March. And they let... Oh, Christ.
Oh, my God.
Oh, hang on.
And it's who I said it would be. Neil Moppy, always a danger. But
I told you, he's our bogeyman now. He's our new bogeyman.
Was so bad there.
Oh my God!
Like
that's
still got blamed. Don't get me wrong, but Soufal had an absolute nightmare there.
Well, but also, Dennis, it's because
Bowen sorry. Look at the fucking body language of the players. They're walking away. Their heads are down. They know they're fucked, and they know they're not playing. This is what I was talking about before we even kicked off. Heads dropping as a key part of the season. Fucking hell! Well done, Moisey. Well fucking done. Fuck you too, David Sullivan. Fuck you too, David Sullivan. 20 points to safety my arse.
I actually think this is on level with one like the Newcastle game with how we're playing right now. Like that's how bad it is.
But hold on, even the Newcastle game this is the third consecutive half of football where we haven't had a shot on target.
sure, man.
You know, we're hitting the crossbar in the Newcastle game. We hit it like 3 times. We've shown nothing here. Absolutely nothing.
How can you play a back 5 and a low block and Mope find just enough space to have a shot in the box? It's ridiculous. It's silly.
It's ridiculous. And what's even worse again is the body language as they walk away, and the commentators are saying that West Ham's heads are dropping.
We just backed off.
Just what I warned at the beginning.
That's what happens when you play freaking Noble.
That's what happens when you're playing.
No, it's not. But when you play negative formation and negative personnel, then this what you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, Noble's been no worse than the rest of them.
No. I'm not saying that he has been bad.
No one's terrible. Except the only person that I think I can say has done well is that Fabianski has done what is expected of him. He's made his routine saves. You know?
Misplaced passes all over the place. Backed off. And this is what happens when you back off a side. Inevitably,
1-0 Brighton. Boo! So there's no artificial booing. So
yeah, I'd certainly be booing at half time. That is honestly abysmal. The
fact that Solly March could get into the box was basically unopposed to get that cross in is really an issue. That's so defensive minded. That's like, come on, Brighton, you have as much possession as you want. And if we make one mistake, then you'll hurt us. And they did. And you kind of felt like you can't play that tactic consistently. Do you know what I mean? You are asking for a team to eventually break you down. And yeah, we can debate about the defending and the sloppiness. But ultimately, March has been able to travel so far forward in that position. And that's hurt us. And offensively, we've been awful. We've been the worst we have been this season. We've offered nothing. We can't string passes together. We can't get in behind. The deliveries of every part of this performance offensively, and now defensively as well, has been poor. And I can't believe he's put that side out. And he needs to push the team up. He needs to bring on Benrahma. He needs to make some positive changes. And we need to try and get back in this game. Because if we sit like that in the second half, 1-0 down to Brighton, that's embarrassing. That is really embarrassing. I don't care. You know, I've sat there and said, let's see how these wing-backs... I've barely seen the wing-backs in advanced positions in this game. And when they are, who's in the box? No one. Apart from maybe Bowen.
Just like Dennis was pointing out that obviously Soufal was completely just outdone there. But normally you would have Bowen coming back as a winger, helping out, getting the extra man, running into the box, and he would have got onto him. But Soufal's dealing with 2 players.
2-on-1 there by a right winger and a right wing back.
It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. And Moyes set up for this.
He did. That's what really frustrates me. I haven't seen fair play Brighton. I think in some aspects, Basuma and Lallana aren't playing in an advanced position. So they understand that West Ham are going to counter them. But at the same time, West Ham haven't done that in this game.
We've given them the ball to play around with.
Have the ball, Brighton. And we haven't gone and tried to win it off them to hit him in transition. That hasn't happened.
Yeah, we don't have, as much as this formation may work, we don't have the personnel for it. I mean, we've not got the players to bomb forward when we.
No, we do though. We do. That's the thing. The Benrahma Noble swap is such a simple swap.
I meant in the lineup, Angus. I meant in the lineup. Sorry, mate. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
Why this lineup is just ridiculous and how because
I mean, is anyone else? I'm genuinely a lot of me is actually glad we conceded there because he will be forced to show some intent. I don't care we conceded. Honestly, I'm fuming. I'm absolutely raging inside. But it's he has to do something, and we would have watched another 45 minutes exactly like that hadn't we conceded in the last 10 minutes. That is now the third half where we have not had one single shot on target. Not one shot on target. Didn't have won the whole Chelsea game.
You look at that Brighton midfield. West Ham could dominate that in theory. If we pushed up, we could dominate that midfield. They've really only got 2-man midfield, and we've just sat off them. Go and have the ball, put the press on, keep it, and eventually, you'll break us down. And it's honestly, mate, I'm gonna go for a coffee in a minute because I'm so annoyed.
I just seen a tweet from one of our own, Ollie Roberts, and he's got it spot on. He said, every West Ham fan could see this performance coming once the team sheet was released. So why can't the manager? How are we seeing this and the manager isn't? It's absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic. It was an absolutely embarrassing, atrocious first half, tantamount to that of the Newcastle game, and potentially even worse, just because of how terrible we were. We were just shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Gary Neville was said after our goal that it was like we're setting up to play Man City, not Brighton.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you can't hide from the fact that at the end of the day, we're playing 9 defensive players.
Yeah. And they're not even playing.
Simple as that.
Like we said, we've always sat there and said that with the wing backs, they either sit deeper or they go and push. And I don't feel like they've even done that. We've lost that midfield battle. Brighton, I've never seen a team like Brighton, with all due respect, have so much possession against us. Trossard, Mopé, picking up the ball at will, no one putting any pressure on them because they've been told to sit so deep. Brighton, I don't even know what to say.
There were no positives in that half.
There was none.
There weren't
None
any.
at all. So frustrating. So negative. It's on his head. It's on his head to lose this game. 100%.
Even when Ben Johnson pushes up, and this is through no fault of his own, for the record, he can't really get a good delivery in because he's right-footed.
Yeah.
He's right-footed playing left wing back.
Yeah.
Simple.
I don't know.
You know, so it's
Square pegs in a round hole.
and even if he did get a good delivery in, it's not like Seb scored a header in how long? Like, come on. There needs to be he needs to have that he needs to have that space to work into, and the bicycle kick works because we absolutely open the line of that defense when we're looking with intent to push on, but we're literally just holding it in the corners and then whipping a delivery in. And this is once every 5 minutes. For the first 15 minutes, they were all hitting the first defender, and there's absolutely been no intent. As I said, I'm glad we're 1-0 down. Mind you, I don't think Moyes will probably change anything at halftime. He'll wait until the 60th minute or God knows what, because
So Noble, go up top, help Allaire.
I will. A Noble is, and again, it's not really through any fault of his own, because as a Premier League footballer, you have to put your hand up for every game. But at the end of the day, he's playing. We've got. If you see him as the third attacking player, he offers nothing as a cam. He doesn't. So
Oh yeah.
we're talking about Noves playing as a 10,
That's
which we need. We need it. Firstly, in this formation, let's make it clear we need a 10. So assuming that he's trying to play that role, which I don't think he is. He's playing more central, but we do need. That's the first thing. We do need someone higher up the pitch there.
Yeah.
He isn't that choice because there is no movement. There's no I don't know. So
the issue with Noble is, and I hate saying this, it is sometimes like playing with like 10 men, where you've got a player on that pitch that doesn't offer anything defensively, that's not offering enough in the press, that can't create. And it's so frustrating because we all love Noble, but at the end of the day, this game is for the taking in that midfield. And Benrahma,
exactly.
Even 4 nows, mate, in that 10 role. It's just, we need to make changes.
I think at the moment, Noble's position is redundant because he's playing as a centre mid. And we need an attacking midfielder. I think Sebastian Haller's position is virtually redundant because he keeps dropping back. He's got no pace. And this is the problem that we've been having for ages. We don't need to be playing 5 at the back. I know it's a good choice and whatever, but we're still getting beaten. This is now, the 6th game that we haven't kept a clean sheet. If we're to push them and get a result from this game, we don't need a third centre-back. So there's 3 positions I can think of in 11 that are redundant.
Well, for me, I think you bring on Lanzini and Benrahma for Johnson and Noble, and then play with the back 4 because you've got to be more attacking now, and we've got to go for it. Put Lanzini and Benrahma on. Benrahma for sure has to come on because we have no creativity in that team right now. Nothing's working. And like you say, Corey, Brighton on their own, I don't think are going to create too much. The only reason why they've even got a goal is because we've pushed so far back that we've eventually let them just get into our box and score. So, if we play with that back 4, I don't mind now. We just need more attacking options up there. None of this. I mean, the formation was baffling before, but now it would be absolutely stupid to go back out there for the second half and stick to that formation. It needs to change.
I'd go 4-2-3-1. I put 3 attacking midfielders,
exactly.
push our left
100%,
further up, get right.
I'd move Bowen out to wide right, put Lanzini in the middle, Benrahma on the left 4. Yeah. And it's nothing on him because he's not been bad, but Johnson and Noble, although he's bad, has been no worse than the others. Have Rice sit deep with Soucek moving forwards to support Lanzini as a late arrival in the box, and just fucking going all out and assault. Knocking it back to Cresswell to get that deep cross in. What
And
can
the
we,
funny-
what can we lose? If we lose this game 1-0 or 3-0, it makes no difference to me.
The funny thing is, this is what now the third game in the row that we've said the exact same thing at halftime with the exact same players that we need to take off and put on. With the exception of Fornals, who isn't even starting this game, it's always Benrahma on for Fornals. Now it's Benrahma on for Noble. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. So, yeah, wow. And then there were two.
I don't think Nigel Pearson would sort this out, Leslie. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
with you,
I
mate.
just saw that. Jesus. Yeah.
Although the press conferences will be more interesting, at least. Might call David Sullivan an ostrich or something.
Blake said, "Why in the hell did I wake up early for this, mate? You might be forced to go back to bed after that first half. I don't know how you're still awake, to be honest."
Hey.
Yeah, exactly, Andy. Not had a shot on target in the last 170 minutes.
Last shot on target was Haller's overhead kick, I think. I could be wrong. But...
Yeah.
On a positive note, I got this for Christmas,
135
and I really like my new
Yeah,
dress.
wait.
Good addition, Charles.
Someone gave David Sullivan their money.
Yeah, I'm very happy with my addition, Angus. Oh God, yeah, Dennis, you're not happy, are you? Sorry, I forgot.
They could stick you up top. You look the part now. Seb will have to have a break.
I think Alair's still quicker than I am.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, I'm very happy with my addition. But yes,
It would be interesting to see. It would be. It's hard to get a gauge against a normal Premier League player how quick he is. But like, I can't imagine there mustn't be many slower than him in this league. But I'm thinking about Balbuena. I'm genuinely thinking in my head who would win a running race, a sprint between Balbuena and Sebastian Haller, and I'm genuinely not convinced.
I think with Haller, like I've seen him run a few times. Like you know, after the game when you do like your warm down, sometimes like I've seen him run there, and like he's really going for it. He's really sprinting. So I reckon he does have pace, but like from he doesn't have acceleration. He doesn't.
Yeah, the lack of acceleration. He looks like a steam train when he runs half the time. You can see him moving fast, and then slowly he starts to get up there. But you need that quick turn of pace.
So, and mechanically, Antonio's not a good mechanical runner, but he's got that acceleration, he's got that pace, and he's got that strength, which makes him look better.
Yeah, it's weird. I always think about this. If you think about our best strikers over the years, like they've all had a turn of pace in them. Even if you think last 5-6 years, with Arnie and Mikel, they're both.
Even Bellamy like 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So easy. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we've always had an element of pace up top, and we're obviously missing it so much right now.
It's one of those leagues as well where the pace is, it's so crucial.
Well, surely, Angus, we've got to be making a sub at half time, though.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think, I'd be thinking, obviously we can't make a triple substitution at half time because we wouldn't have any left. If the 5 sub rule was in place, which firstly I don't agree with, but I'd put 3 on at half time, turn it into a bit of a pre-season game if I could, and stick 10 on at half time because, maybe with the exception of, the regulars like Rice and Soufal and Soucek, no one has really been doing anything special. I think, but even Bowen's looked a bit lost. In hindsight, he looks more comfortable on the right-hand side.
I'm just seeing now. Sorry, Angus. I'm just seeing now that Yarmolenko and Lanzini are going through some extensive warm-up. So potentially,
even Yarma though. Yeah, but Yarma again isn't that turn of pace that we need.
Yarma is so slow, but at least he shoots. But at least he shoots from outside the box and tries something.
He ain't gonna get a hope in hell, mate, because he's gonna be sitting in his own half, Yarmolenko, if he comes on.
And it's really not great for, if you're trying to hold someone off from moving to Chelsea after you've been done 3-0 and showed no intent in that game, to then be losing 1-0 to Brighton with 9 defensive players. Like, there's nothing for Rice to be excited about either. Like, he's
Not
doing all he
really.
can, obviously, and he's been consistent for a couple of seasons now. And he just must be thinking like that. Like, it doesn't matter how well I play; it's completely down to the rest of the squad and the manager. And this is what I'm being given. And the same for Benrahma on the bench. Must be thinking, shit, why am I here? You know, Brentford will be in the Premier League, in all likelihood in a season. They're about to play Tottenham in the Cup. He's probably thinking, shit, I wish I stayed here.
Well, we can confirm that Yarmolenko and Lanzini are the substitutions, and Noble and Bowen are coming off.
Oh my god!
What is this about? What is it about? I don't get it.
Go on, Corey. Take it
I'll
away.
be back in like 5 minutes. No,
I
it's
want the
honestly
Corey rant.
disgraceful.
I want Corey
Jesus.
to turn to the Hulk.
So Yarma's playing as a so just to clarify, we've got Yarmolenko and Allaire as our forward two.
I think we might. They might be playing as wingers. I don't know.
I think Lanzini's a good move. I mean, it's the only move really, apart from Benrahma or Fornals. It's
We're still back five, which means that
Alzati's coming on for Brighton, I think, as well. So they're making changes.
I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot that Adam Lallana was playing today. I didn't actually see him do anything.
Nah.
Honest with you.
I do like
I
Adam Lallana.
actually think he's a good footballer.
Yeah, he is. Oh, come on, West Ham.
I don't understand why Benrahma's not on though.
The Benrahma thing is odd. I mean, he's really got something against him.
I think he does. I think he must do. I really do.
Again, I said this so many times, and everyone got what I was saying wrong. Is that the reason why I did not want us to sign Benrahma wasn't because of Benrahma's lack of ability, although I had heard concerns at Brentford.
That was a little bit.
It was the fact that David Moyes, if he doesn't want someone, to not give a shit and we'll keep him on the bench until they're trained to play the way he wants to play.
I mean, X has just tweeted. Someone's asked why doesn't Moyes rate Benrahma, and X has gone, I'm not sure on the exact reason, but he wasn't keen on signing him. I hope he proves him wrong. But how can you prove him wrong when he doesn't get the opportunity? So he's
played well every time he's played as well. So I mean, I'm not really sure what he's seen.
I do not understand taking Bowen off at all. So we haven't changed the formation, we've changed the personnel.
Well, Noble for Lanzini should hopefully make.
Lanzini's a no-brainer. Lanzini or Fornell should have started in that position ahead of.
Allaire gets ahead on target, but now he's down injured.
Oh no! Not my Ivorian prince.
No, I think he'll be fine. Just got a knock in the back. Declan Rice coming across to whip the cross in for us.
Oh God.
Ben Johnson getting involved as well.
Routine head of the save, really.
Yeah, it wasn't too much of a.
His back's injured from carrying West Ham's attack for too many games.
I think Southampton might be having back problems then because he's been carrying us for the last few games. Oh, Allaire, get back on side!
Is he smiling? That's all that's important.
No, he's not. He should be sacked.
Oh, Lee Clayton's going to be very cross.
Yeah. Yeah, he was disappointed in himself that he missed the chance, so he should be smiling. I honestly, everyone's just doesn't get this Bowen substitution. Everyone's just...
What a weird one. What a weird choice.
All right, I'm back. Okay. I just read what we had a shot on target.
Header.
The goat got a header on target, but it was soft and routine.
Well, 2 of our last shots on target have been from Sebastian Haller because the last one was against Crystal Palace.
But that's the important thing is, Angus, is he wasn't smiling, so Lee Clayton will have a half wrap tonight on his talk sport thing.
Go on, Lanzini. Go on, Manny. Go on, son.
Oh, Morpay's limping, so our tactic now is just to kick them.
See, this is perfect. This is perfectly set up for Brighton now. This second half, like get the goal and now just set up defensively. That's all. That's what they're good at. That's what they do.
Are we playing what? 3 up? Oh, man.
I think we're playing 3 up top with
We're playing
Lanzini.
wingers.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks very clear to me that we're playing 3 up top. Manu already looks to have settled in quite well, which is good.
Angus, do you? What's your opinion on the Bowen being subbed off?
I disagree with that 100%. Again, in terms of pace, it's knowing that they are going to set up really defensively in the second half. The biggest exploit would be pace for us, and we've just taken our fastest player off the pitch.
That's what I don't understand. Like, surely you would keep Bowen on if you were going to play wingers.
Even playing him centrally, with Seb, you could still fit Yarmo into this team, arguably, because we yeah.
Going back to your question about accountability, Angus, like, do you think whoever's going to interview Moyes after is even going to say like, "Oh, you set up very strangely today," or like,
no, it'll be David. Disappointing result today. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, exactly.
It's those open-ended questions where David Moyes can just do whatever he wants with the interview. I would be very happy if someone did ask that question. I'd be very interested to see what he'd say.
Well,
because I don't know what the answer is to it.
This Brighton goalkeeper is just having the easiest time. Oh, a bit of a blunder from Brighton though. We'll take that.
Come on.
Oh, for God's sake.
That Yamo just tried an elastico out for a goal kick.
At least he's confident.
Yeah, no, fair play.
I mean, him and Lanzini definitely trying to do something. Oh my God. Soufal overloaded again on the right wing.
I'm not going to dig out Yarma, but the only one thing about him is he's so predictable because he's desperate to come in on his left.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like right down to the ground. They're like, yeah, okay, fine.
And his defensive work rate is
because Charles, you said it hit it bang on the head. Like the fact that we are now 1-0 down, it actually suits Brighton. They're like, right, well, okay, we know what we're to expect.
It's perfect for them. It is honestly a perfect situation for them.
Use the width, please.
If this was City, they'd still be, trying to go for 2 or 3 more goals.
No,
Brighton don't need that goal now. They don't need another goal. Don't concede a pen.
Too poor. Nothing.
It's actually shocking defensively as well. We've just let them make a 25-yard pass through the middle and then find a winger to push it out and into our box. They've taken a minute off the clock and they've got a throw.
Well, did you see the space that I think it was Basuma just had running down the middle? He was sprinting with the ball practically for like 30 yards. Like, close him down, for God's sake.
We haven't made an effort to win the ball, actually press and win that ball off Brighton. And that's where you hurt them. And we just haven't done it.
Well, what we've done is we've pressed them, but we're not tackling them. We're not trying to get the ball off them, as you say, Corey. We're just kind of running to them and then let them make the next pass.
I bet they can't believe their luck. I bet they're like, you're just going to let us run with it? Yeah.
Graham Potter had a very easy half-time team talk. Aller's not even winning anything up in the air as well. So,
no.
Come on, boys. Oh my God, that's a terrible cross. Brighton could honestly pass the ball around for the whole game
Oh,
without us trying to win the ball back.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy for them right now. So easy. There's no pressure. They've
You
just
just
lost the
see-
ball because they made a misstep. That's the only time we've won the ball back from them.
It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
sorry, Angus.
No, I was going to say, obviously you're like 20 seconds ahead of me, but Cressa pushed up to try and attack the ball, and Morpay was just threw him behind there on the right hand side. And
Oh, too slow. Everything's too slow.
Go on, boys. Go on. Oh, Soucek, come on. Go on, Yarmo. No, he's gone down the box. It's not a pen, though.
Make a tackle. We've got to take a risk if we're going to try and get something from this game.
We're playing how we should be if we were 2-1 up with 10 minutes left. That's how we're playing. There's no chance we get a goal if we continue playing like this.
No, and we lose the ball, and Brighton are already swamping us going forwards. Brilliant.
Exactly. Nevin's just like, I don't know what's going on. He's literally shaking his head. He's like, I don't know what's going on.
Play it wide.
Neither do we, mate. Neither do we.
Jeez. I actually thought the ref had blown because no one was doing anything, but it was just West Ham just sitting off.
Even Ogbonna doesn't look up for it today. Like, even Ogbonna's just like...
Moyes has massively overestimated Brighton's threat.
it must be quite demotivating as well for some of the players to see how defensively we've set up in a game like this. Obviously, I touched on it with Rice, only using the Chelsea way up that he will have in weeks to come. But even for players that don't have any options and are just playing week in, week out, you must be there thinking, shit, like, what's going on here? Like from the
Angus,
second
you're about
those
to
lineups got
frustrating
released.
loss of possession. Sorry, Angus, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, but there's been, if you talk about ambition and intent, there's been nothing. There's been nothing.
Go on, Fab. Nice. Go, go, go! Do something! I mean, I feel so sorry for Allaire, honestly. Like, he's so isolated right now. Like, I know we give him a load of crap, but there's just nothing he can do.
His position actually in this half is much better. We're seeing him, but he's just nowhere near him.
There's no one near him, and you know he just can't. He can't.
Oh, come on, West Ham! It's poor. It's just sloppy all over the pitch all the time.
That third sub needs to be made sooner rather than later,
And
because
it's not Benrahma,
no miracle is going to happen. We're not going to
If
steal
it's
a goal.
If it's not Benrahma, then Moyes is a
Oh,
loss.
no, that's what I'm saying. It has to be. Yeah. We've taken all the pace out of the game. We've this.
Look how
it's
much
just gonna be
space.
one of those 30
Space.
minutes here.
Push out. It's Brighton. Oh God.
Just sending you boys a
Go.
tweet that sums up our.
Oh, this is
sums up
just
our-
pathetic. I've never. I'm going to try and not lose the plot here.
Opinions on Lincoln City. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd rather speak about them than speak about this rubbish.
Yeah, great team.
Better than this load of rubbish.
Yeah, I tell you
We'll
what.
probably praising Stockport in a couple of weeks' time as well.
There's a time and a place to play this type of football, and it's definitely not in this game.
It's City.
It is a Liverpool, really, in truth.
Yeah. Go on.
Well, there's some.
Come on. Come on. Yes, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson.
Don't tell me.
Ben Johnson. Benny. Ben
Johnson. Charles is just trolling us, and actually nothing's happening.
Yeah, nothing's happened.
Mate, no, I'm not trolling you. It's too much. Benny Johnson, well done, son. Congratulations, fella.
Yarmolenko's on the wing. He is pushed up.
Good goal.
I'm actually so happy for him now. It was one of those. It's like the Anderson. It's like the Anderson one against Huddersfield away, and we're in a similar position in that game as well.
A great finish.
Shithousery, but it's a good
Beanie with the assist. Oh, well done, Penny.
Fucking Brighton look absolutely, like us, they look gutted. They thought they had
Lanzini, well done. Honestly, Lanzini, what an assist. Great assist.
No,
from
he
Lanzini.
had turned on from the minute this half kicked off. You were talking about pressing players. He was the only one that pressed on the ball.
Oh, that is some finish. That's some finish.
It's like
Oh,
Come on.
Finally.
but it's quite a good finish.
Get in. Oh, I'm so happy for him. I'm
so happy for him. I'd rather.
He's played well. He has played well today.
He's taken that ball really well. Well played.
Well done. Honestly, like I said, credit to Lanzini as well. Like you say, Angus, he's on the floor. He has practically no idea where he is, and he manages to get that back to him. That's amazing. That's great stuff.
I'm actually so surprised we scored. It's
I'm so surprised.
It's one of my whole mood's just changed, but I just can't believe it.
It was the first time in the game we've just thrown forward. We've thrown.
It's the first time I felt excitement in this game, that's for sure. And the Chelsea game, I didn't feel any excitement either. So I think it's the first bit of West Ham magic we've had for a while, and it's needed.
Simon, the reason we sat there is because Charles is somehow magically 20 seconds ahead of the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, boys. Put a bit of effort in.
Yeah, go on,
Boo, Johnson. Great stuff. Yeah.
So what happens now then? I still think Benrahma has to come on, in my personal opinion.
Justification to not change things.
Well,
yeah,
he's going to go back. He'll be like, all right, boys, we can go back to the old formation now.
Thank God we got a goal, honestly.
Going back to what you were saying, Corey, about there's a time and a place to play defensively like this. Like some teams just never do it. You think about Leeds' first game against Liverpool, which was the example you used. You know, it's just, I'd rather an entertaining 1-0 loss than sitting back. And to be fair, I'd prefer Benrahma to come on now and us lose 2-1 than to get a 1-1 draw and not change things. Because draw points here and there.
The tempo.
Yeah, it is.
Ben Johnson, mate. I'm honestly so happy. I love it when academy player scores. Soucek with the cross a bit too deep there.
Fucking hell.
I don't
know how we're in this game now. I don't know how.
Neither do I. But it was the first time in the game we've actually got forward, got men in the box, and put them under pressure. And shock horror, we actually get a chance on goal.
Oh,
imagine my shot.
Soucek.
Yeah, exactly.
Soucek's cross has to be better there. That was like the one time Hello had a bit of space in the box to get his head on it.
Come on.
That's it. Come on. Oh, all right. It's better from West Ham. We're trying to play forward here.
Go on, Yarmo. Yarmo's been really good as well since coming on.
That's it. Push.
Go on, Chris. Go on, son.
Take him on.
Oh, Ale was waiting to pull the trigger there. Come on, boys. This is better.
Oh.
Come on, it's more like it.
It's good to see Soucek in an advanced position as well. That's helping us massively here.
Definitely.
We always struggle when Soucek isn't playing in those making those late midfield runs.
Oh, good cross.
God, whoever put a bet on Ben Johnson scoring today, you're gonna have a massive payout.
Happy days.
First Prem goal, isn't it? Or is it?
First goal for the club altogether, I
First
think.
goal. First senior goal, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Ooh,
Come on.
lucky.
That's it.
God, we're playing so much better now. We're just
Better tempo. Forward. That's it, West Ham. This is much better.
You know, we've still got 25 plus minutes to get another goal. You know, we should be going for it.
Chris.
Come on, options. Well done, Manny.
That's it.
Oh, Manu! Unlucky, son. Manny's been blinding. Honestly,
We're finally trying to get him behind him. The first time, literally, in this game.
And this is the thing, right? We're seeing not only are we offering more offensively, but Brighton are offering less in our half as well, because they're suddenly aware of the threat that Man
exactly.
an attempt there has. You can't afford to just take the piss and run through the middle like we're letting them, because they could get hurt now. So yeah, much better.
Fabianski's just had a mare there.
Come on. Everyone watching, drop a like, play around. We might get back in this yet.
Wondering if you boys have seen the Lanzini effort yet. It was just it
No.
wasn't even close. I was just impressed with just how there was no options from the throw, and he just creates something out of nothing.
Okay, fairs. Yeah. Do you know what? Lanzini, when he's come on, I know it's only been a few spells this season, but has looked very lively in that role.
Very good. He's looked very good. I think it was Tony Cottee today. He said like Lanzini is still our best player, and like says he wants him back in the team. And I wouldn't say that he's our best player, but I definitely think he's an important player when he's up and running.
Yeah, definitely in that final third.
Yeah, he obviously lost a lot of confidence when he picked up that injury. In terms of he hasn't been driving at players as much, but you're slowly starting to see that back in his game and realize, he's starting to realize what he can do.
Go on, Yarmai. Ooh, unlucky.
So, yeah.
West Ham, what are you doing to me? Brighton are making a change soon. Number 13, I'm not sure who it is.
Oh.
They've recalled Glenn Murray from loan. That's what
yeah, they're pretty good.
Or they've got Glenn Murray. They've got like
come on,
Men Glory coming off the bench or something like that.
Don't think they can get the registration forms in time.
Gross. Looks like Gross is coming on.
Is it Gross? Yeah. Oh God, they're in. Oh my God, how
better. That's it. Go on. No, okay.
Brighton nearly getting a goal there against the run of play.
Do you know what? I think it's actually benefited them not having Aaron Connolly. I think if they had Aaron Connolly today, we would have seen a few more runs in behind.
Yeah.
Go on, West Ham.
We're still there is a clear lack of that pressing, just in that lead up to the Brighton chance.
We're just backing off them too much again. They've got another chance here.
Again, it's
get rid. Corner. We're starting to let them back into.
Considering we set up so centrally as well, we haven't allowed a team to have this much space centrally. In any of our games thus far, they're just it's not great.
Get rid. 2-1 Brighton. 2-1 Brighton. They've just scored. Dunk.
Jesus. Oh, of course it is. From the set piece, I would assume.
Yeah. Dealt with it terribly.
Brilliant.
It's not our day, man. We ain't gonna.
Oh, no fucking wonder why. Lanzini's marking him. And then Allaire, and then Soucek, and then Soucek heads it into Dunk, and Dunk pokes it in.
Fuck's sake.
Is it really bad defending?
It's not great. Not as bad as the first goal, but still pretty bad.
I prefer not to speak.
Oh, handball though. VAR.
Someone said it wouldn't count, but I don't know.
I don't think there's a lot of evidence. There's not enough evidence.
I think they've given it because I just got the.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like a
maybe I don't
handball.
know. I mean, he makes no attempt to play the ball. I don't know.
I'm behind, so I haven't seen the close-up replay, but it did look a little bit.
There's a chance, but I'm not sure if it's clear and obvious because it comes off his knee as well. But I don't know. It could be. It could be. I think it. I don't know. Yeah, I think they might rule it out.
Hang on.
It doesn't look like much, to be fair, from the angle I'm seeing it from.
I'm not sure. They're taking a good look at it. They're taking a really.
It's the thing. He's trapped the ball. The only reason he's managed to control it is because it's become stuck between his arm and his leg. So that's the defense for it, because it hasn't really hit him on the arm, but it has blocked the ball.
It's a goal.
Oh.
No handball.
Yeah.
Simple things today. Simple defensive. Switched off from that short corner.
I mean, the thing I was going to say about the fact that Ben Johnson scores just sums up how poor we've been attacking wise. The fact that we've needed him to come up and score the goal for us, and I don't see us getting back in this game, honestly.
I don't think we will. We'll open up too much here if we're going to try and get this equaliser.
Goal given, 2-1 Brighton. Will from in between has put Brighton 2-1 up. My alcohol this week is Erdinger Dunkel, which I bought on Amazon. If you will be paying track to my obscure German beers that I like to drink. There will be no Steinhausers this week.
71 minutes, and Benrahma doesn't even look like he's coming on right now.
No.
Oh my god, and they're in again. If they score another goal, I'm actually going to lose my shit. This is
I don't even know what to say, really.
I was holding off saying it.
I'm only going to tell you what you already know, so...
I wanted to hold off saying it because I didn't want to be too negative after the goal, but we still haven't been playing well enough.
Yeah, the goal
that
was
equaliser.
One good ball in with Brighton panicking in the box. He didn't change anything, and yeah, it's just.
And the thing is, I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter saying it's a handball and stuff. It could have gone either way, in my opinion. But the fact is, we don't deserve to be in this game. We don't deserve it.
We don't.
So
it's too easy. It's too easy for him. We've made it so easy.
It's even worse that it's not even a first-time finish. He's actually had a touch in the box and then put it in. That is shocking.
Push the line up.
It's another player that we're linked with. We've been linked with Lewis Dunk more times than I can fucking remember.
We've been linked with everyone.
Yeah,
the West Ham curse.
We've been linked with him from the Allardyce days. We've been linked with him, and he scored against us. Out wide. Oh, fucking Johnson's wide open. What are you doing?
You're right, Angus, isn't it? The goal that he scored there, where he's got that time.
And I said it last week as well. You cannot concede from a set piece and expect to win a game. That's factual.
But mate, that's the first goal as well. Yeah, to not clear it. Mope's got in. There's both times in this game.
Well, also, another thing is that, so the Thiago Silva and Dunk goal are similar in the fact that we've got two weird players marking him and then giving those players the momentum to go in with the head, leaving Ogbonna just completely pretty much at a standstill. Lanzini and Allaire kind of chasing him. And it's I don't know, the set pieces have just been abysmal the last two. Defending the set piece has been abysmal the last two games.
And we've never sat here since the season started and said we are bad from set pieces. And it's only in the last 2 games where I've gone, hang on a minute.
It's only since people started saying that we're good from set pieces that we've gone bad.
Yeah, probably.
That's another pace of the West Ham.
The stats prove it, though. Before those 2 games, we conceded like the least amount of goals from set pieces and scored the most.
And then when people started talking about it, that's when it went to shit. It always happens with us. Moyes will make with 10 minutes to go, we'll bring on fucking Fornells or Fred.
Yeah, we'll bring on the more defensive option of the two. That will actually be what happens, to be fair. Is spot on.
And to a lesser extent, Snodgrass, which for me would be the attacking options. Snodgrass for his ability to put the ball in the box. Not overall game. I know Snodgrass isn't. I know all of us.
It always baffles me how, the club have, a manager, they've got a bunch of backroom staff, tactical analysis through videos and stuff, and it doesn't seem like they see the things that the fans see. There was some obvious concerns going into this game with the lineup that we put out, mainly that there was no attacking threat, and no surprise that we didn't have a shot on target in the first half. And then in a game where you put 9 defensive players in the middle of the pitch, it just happens that they have literally been allowed to play through the middle. Like that bit, I don't get. It's unbelievable.
They're allowed to play out from the back. They're ready to drive from their own box, and they're unchallenged the whole time. I don't remember a phase of play that was down, nicked the ball off it, won them, and then hit them. And we've not done that at all in this game. He's got it wrong. Like, he's just massively Moyes has got it.
Oh, no, 100%. 100%. And there's games like these where things go wrong from the minute the starting lineup's released, and they're the games where, there should be so much accountability. I wish there were fans in the stadium for games like this because, we've been done, and rightly so.
We just
he probably won't learn his lesson.
I just saw there.
That's why you've got
Go!
Just seen Ben White drive at our defence. Centre back there, driving. No one tackling. He's got all the space in the world.
Go! Go!
Too easy.
No, Yarmo. No.
Oh, my God. Right through the middle.
It was such a good breakaway from us we've just had as well, and then Yarmo ruins it with a sloppy cross.
Oh, fucking hell. It's straight in the keeper's arms as well.
I think Benrahma might be making an appearance in about 2 minutes.
The left back. He'd be coming on for Cresswell, wouldn't he?
Forward.
Only 77 minutes too late.
Have you seen him warming up or anything, Charles, or no?
No.
I think he will come on, but let's have a look.
Anything to suggest that, but I do hope it's true.
Give it a minute. Oh, no. Yeah, or I don't know. Just look at Twitter and Sam Inkersol. So.
Well, I saw someone say Benrahma on, Rice off, and I immediately ignored that. So
yeah,
probably best.
But knowing David Moyes, he probably would fucking do that.
Yeah, I mean, Moyes is terrible, but surely
make him aware that again, media brief from the owners. Make it look like Rice wants to move. I just show him that he wasn't bigger than the club. It was his fault we lost. I expected him to score all the goals today.
It's so...
Some bollocks like that.
Apparently now, like you say, Angus, I've just seen a tweet from Inkersol saying that he is warming up now, so I assume he is, but he hasn't come on screen yet.
Sure, yeah.
We've got a dangerous free kick now outside their box, conceded by Dunk.
Was that where Soucek went down? No, I'm a little behind you. They got a throw in where Soucek went down like a second.
Man, come on.
He doesn't look very rigorous, if I'm honest with you, mate.
We've got to score from this. Come on. None of this stupid, rubbish, weird stuff. Just get it in the box.
I'm just going to pay attention to Charles now. If he starts screaming, that means he scored. For those watching, Charles isn't the only one that celebrates. Just Charles is miraculously a few seconds.
It was literally just as bad as you could have expected it to go.
Wait, what? What's happened?
It already happened.
Yeah, it's already happened. Been and gone. Terrible free kick.
Let down, Charles.
I'm sorry, no celebrations, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
Okay, go, up the pitch, go on, Ben.
Fucking hell!
I mean, that's the trouble with Ben Johnson, left back as well, is the fact that he's right-footed, that he has to he's not natural.
Turn around and then play it.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like.
That's what I said at halftime. Exactly. It's the basics, you know.
But honestly, I mean, like, you know, not that anyone deserves man of the match from our team, but he would be my man of the match for today.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's been hard to fault. And again, that's not his fault, the playing left back, and no surprise that he, you know, well.
I mean, you know, great.
Quality of crosses today, by the way, has been absolutely appalling.
It's been shocking.
It's been really shocking.
In the first half, we freaking passed it for our corners, even though we're one of the most dangerous corner takers in the league. Like, what are we doing?
No.
I'm so glad we got a game in 2 days' time because
I could not be less confident for that game. I know it's a good chance to turn it around and stuff, but
I can't live with this result for 7 days. We need to turn it around.
Right.
So it'll be a different type of game, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Danny Ings will be going in my fantasy team, I think, lads.
There will be such a sheer lack of confidence, though, I'd expect, because, I don't know.
We said at the beginning, my main concern of this is not necessarily the result, but the effect that the result will have on the team, you know?
Yes! Soucek! How the hell have you scored that?
You know, he's on my bench on fantasy, which means he scores. So.
Come on, Soucek! How? Oh, guess what? It's from a corner as well. Oh, look, we whipped it in. Oh, my God. That is so funny. Dunk headed it into Soucek's head.
Oh, that's so funny. I just saw that. Let's go.
Great. Thank you, Dunky.
That is.
Thank you, Dunky.
Oh, we will take the point. And we will fucking run with it.
Oh, my God. We're getting away with murder.
We will run.
We're actually getting away with murder.
Also, as Dunk headed into him, does that take the assist away from Cresswell?
Soucek's laughing his arse off about it. Welbeck's come off. Gross has come on.
Is the goal for me.
So I think Brighton.
Oh, my man!
Brighton holding on for hope here.
Make that run.
Come on, Soucek, you check beauty.
Soucek saved the day.
Says it all, really.
We don't deserve this at all.
No, but you fucking take it, mate.
Oh, absolutely. I will run away with it.
It means getting away with murder. It doesn't mean that David Moyes gets to live with delusions a little bit, but
it's actually getting away with murder.
Oh, look.
But now, guess what? We're sitting off again. We're literally doing the same thing that led to their second goal.
And it means now that Benrahma won't come on again because we've lulled ourselves into the false sense of security.
Yeah, he's like, we don't need him. We need Dawson.
Yeah, like this whole we've stolen a point. Let's just sit back and we'll take a point. Thank you very much. Like, at the end of the day, it's still 7 minutes for us to actually get something decent from this.
Oh my God, that was so close.
What?
It's literally gone right.
Again, I would still much rather. But I'd much prefer a 3-2 loss when we throw everything at it and dominate for 10 minutes and get our confidence up. Then get a 2-2 draw and just sit back.
We're 100%. Sitting them back now.
Draws don't get you anywhere in the league. They don't.
We're literally letting them come on now. Again, I don't know why we're doing this. We need to attack again. I don't mind if we do that at 3-2.
It's the way. I'm not sure what Moyes said to set this game up, but he's definitely got himself in the wrong way. We've just got very We've just done.
The guy's been an idiot today. I'm sorry. He's been
Yeah.
shocking.
Oh mate, 100%.
Absolutely.
The reason why we
He's
are where we
been-
are this game is because of him.
That's the thing with a manager like David Moyes. You are massively at risk of getting tactically outmanaged by the opposition. And yeah, it's
Oh,
just-
One of
come
you!
on,
One of you! Thank you, Alex. That's
Oh.
handball, ref! Oh my god. I'm going to have a heart attack for the rest of this game. Honestly, it's just killing me.
you are so far ahead of us. It's like you're watching the Southampton game. Not gonna lie.
I'm at the stadium, boys.
That is hilarious that they're showing slow-mo replays, and if Dunk doesn't
Yeah.
touch it, Soucek doesn't get it.
It's
That
so funny,
Soucek's
isn't it?
missing that, and they're
So I'm
Dunk
looking for this handball now.
Go.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
oh, ref! Thank you, finally. For God's sake.
Oh.
Haller's actually done a pretty good job of holding up the ball today.
It's all starting to open up. It is all starting to open up.
We just can't let them. We can't.
Yeah. Dunk headering it back to Soucek.
That is actually.
I'll take that.
that is
I'll take
brilliant.
that dunk
Well, Soucek's just taken a leap of faith there and gone, look, I'm just going to go at it and hopefully I'll get it.
Yeah, and it's like if he
Oh
doesn't
my
touch
God.
it,
Go on,
Soucek
Rice.
doesn't get.
Go on, Rice. Go on. Oh.
Got excited.
See, you know, Charles. You know it's not going to happen.
Come on.
Because when you over-egg it, it's like go on.
Oh.
Because normally then it's just screaming out of nowhere.
Shit, now they're on the counter. 1-on-1. No, that's not a foul. Yeah, good. Well done, ref. Moped dived and he didn't get a foul. Thank God.
On West Ham.
Oh, I'm watching this. Your reaction, or the play that I imagine your reaction was to. We are pushing a lot more. That's for sure. And here goes this counter.
Oh, come on.
Here we go. Yeah, we should book
Don't
him
want
for
to
diving
concede.
then, mate.
Don't want to concede. I don't even care if we don't win. I just want the draw. I want the draw now.
Oh.
We're letting them have so much space. Go on, Soufal. Let it go. Well done, son. Oh, Jesus. Marlon, don't you even dare, mate.
God.
I'm way ahead of you.
Oh, lovely. Oh, Soufal with that recovery run. as well.
Bill West tweeted, "What a bullet header from Soucek." Inadvertently, it was, yeah.
With his Sam Allardyce bobblehead, he's buzzing. He's had a good week.
Go on.
Never a truer statement.
Yes, well, it's Moyes' world, and we're just living in it.
Well, it could have been an extra 2 points if it actually put out a good starting 11.
Oh.
I think that's the reality of it.
Post-mortem of this game's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
The trouble is, we are literally playing the same kind of football that led to them scoring the second time. Like, we're just holding off. We're misplacing passes. We're not doing anything to...
Yeah. Too easy.
It's way too-
Moyes isn't picking up on it at all, which is actually quite worrying. That they
Go on,
played
Yarmo.
him.
Yes, Yarmo, Meg Basuma. Go on, Ben. Go on, get to crack.
At this stage, I'm just watching Charles. I'm not watching the
I'm
game.
waiting.
My eyes are just.
Come on. Oh, it's in the box.
Oh.
Charles knows he's got a captured audience now, so now he's just milking it.
Okay, well, it didn't turn into anything, unfortunately, boys. Burns down with a head injury. We're honestly getting away with murder. I don't know why he's down. He's literally just got a ball in the back of the head. But we're getting away with murder if we get a point out of this. Oh my God, Burns! I think someone should give Burns the Oscar because he is milking this horrendously.
Old Dan Burn.
Well,
Might have clipped his ear. What's how?
He's literally going like this. He's going.
Yeah.
Populated. I'm like, It's not that bad, mate. We've all had a ball in the back of the head.
Hey, get over it.
Fergie
Sunday
said could have
league
killed
stuff.
him.
I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name, but Jahaka Banash.
Jack
They're
Ham.
Iranian lads.
He's coming on.
He's not a bad footballer, you know.
He's coming on for Mope.
That's a. We're happy with the points.
Yeah, that's a.
So that's the third substitution, which
The
means
funny thing is, Brighton
you're
has
still
not
not gonna
gone for the
win
win
on
at all
Benrahma,
and have
mate.
somehow
It's not
nearly won it.
Yeah, the decision not to bring Benrahma into this game is probably the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
That's only because we equalised. Until we equalised, that was probably happening.
But it does make sense. Moyes wanted to play so defensively that he just doesn't trust Benrahma to do it. Which, now you look at it.
Again, where the concerns around signing him came from, you know.
I don't know.
Have you just seen, Charles, look at Sammy Casal's last tweet. The 88th minute one. Angelo Bonner's screaming.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like there's literally nothing to suggest why he was down. I don't get it, but go on, Yarmo. Come on, boys. 4 minutes added on time. Let's nick it. Or at least not concede. Come on, Suchi. Ooh.
Come on, please.
4 added minutes, lads.
Just, for God's sake,
Just please, just don't concede. Don't concede. And again, Bonner. We've been really bad at getting the second ball as well, winning the second ball.
that's it. We're done.
God, we're just letting them press us. Oh, well done. We'll take that. 3 goal kick. We'll take that. Why can't we beat Brighton? I just don't get it.
It's the rules, mate. That's what
There's a lot of things.
Today doesn't really surprise me, but today it's more surprising that we're actually looking like we're getting.
I actually think Brighton would have been massively surprised at how West Ham have played. They would have been like, "Really? You sure you want us to have the ball for the whole game?" Like, yeah, don't worry. You just have the ball, pass it around.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, isn't it? I mean, I've seen Ben White in our final third way too many times in this game.
Yeah,
Way
literally.
too many times. I know they like to press their centre backs up, but West Ham really haven't taken advantage of it. That was the way to win it, but they just have. Moyes just wants us to sit back and soak it up. It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Go on, Steve. I'll throw it, mate. Throw it. Someone make an option for him. Well done. God, oh my God. 1 minute left from my point of view.
Yeah, I've still got one.
Soucek, definite handball there.
Minute and a half for me.
It's now a minute left for me. If we concede now, oh my God. Gonna lose my shit. Go on, press. Don't lose him too fast. Well done, mate. 30 seconds. Come on, boys. Just pump it up there. That's it. God, I mean, that's just the story of our attacking game. Just pump up to Allaire. Allaire receives it. No option for him.
What are we doing?
Go on. Oh, Manu. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I think that'll be it, boys. We've won a free kick on the halfway line with about a couple of seconds left. Get everyone in there. Get everyone in the box.
Yeah, get everyone in that box.
Cresswell's just going to absolutely dump it into the box.
Ref will just blow the whistle
You've hardly got
before
anyone
the ball
up there.
gets delivered.
There you go. Full time.
Full time.
Jesus.
2-2, yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea
Got away with
full-time.
murder.
We scored in the last second.
Got away with murder.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that as much as we'd rather not lose, it does give David Moyes justification session out. Oh well, we didn't lose.
Exactly.
Well, we feel relieved because we've been saved from David Moyes' poor management of the game. Completely. We actually feel relieved of getting a draw because we were set up that badly. And the tactic was that he didn't recognise that Brighton were going to dominate possession and try and win it off them. That we conceded 2 goals. Again, probably sloppy mistakes. But we've given Brighton the ball. I mean, I bet they couldn't have believed their luck. It made that game easy for them. Going forward as well, I thought we were awful.
Shocking.
Yeah.
No ideas. Deliveries
Shocking.
poor.
Even by his
You
own
get out
standard.
what you put in. To be fair, we've scammed a draw there. I don't know how we scored 2 goals.
Well,
That is,
look,
when you think about it, it's actually a joke that we scored 2 goals.
I don't know how we scored 2 goals. I mean, literally. I mean, you look at the scrambles, and it's the only time in the games we actually got men in the box and we scored. But from open play, we just couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That wasn't a positive. It wasn't a positive result either. To be fair, I mean, you would have taken it, sure, in the 81st minute or whatever. But it does ask. I think it's starting to ask questions now that we've picked up 2 points in 9, and the opposition have been average. Even Chelsea at the moment. You're looking at a team there that drew against Fulham and Sheffield United. You're looking at Palace, who have shipped 10 goals in 2 games, and you're looking at a Chelsea side which their manager could potentially be gone in a fortnight, and that's how many excuses they're running out of at the moment because they're not getting the performances that their squad warrants. And it does seem to be a thing I've read on Twitter. It's kind of funny. They're almost like a get out of jail card for other clubs when their results aren't going well. Obviously they've given Arsenal a great 3 points there, and they have for a number of clubs as well that haven't been performing well. And that was really a game where we could have, shown intent again. It goes back to that intent thing where David Moyes could have done something, even in the starting lineup that he put out, and he didn't, and we lost, and he hasn't done it again today, and we've drawn, and there's 5 points arguably gone, or 3 points arguably gone in 2 games that we could have had. And if we want to be a club challenging for Europe, we have to show some sort of intent. The scoring goals aspect of a game, believe it or not, is critical. We can't be sitting back and trying for these 1-0s because the way that the game works now in terms of handballs and VAR and stuff, the chances of keeping a clean sheet are so low. That is now the 6th game that we've gone without keeping a clean sheet. So sure, we had a lucky run arguably at the start of the season, but we do need to show intent.
We don't show it enough, mate. And
100%.
What I'd also say, I think earlier in the season when we did play that low block, we got forward in numbers. We attacked. We won the midfield. We pressed. We did the right things to try and get that going. And today, I've never seen us set up that negative against the Brighton team to allow them to have so much possession. The worst thing about it all is we saw this I think it was in the Palace game and in this game. Moyes has had to make changes at half-time tactically and in terms of personnel because he's got it wrong. And I'm not sure how he continues to get it wrong. And against teams that, the so-called bigger teams, the teams with better quality, we seem to do all right. When we come up against teams that we should have the impetus in and try and impress ourselves on the game, we never do it. And he always gets it wrong. And we're always a step behind where we need to be. And you look at how poor the goals we conceded. The goals we scored were only because we managed to get deliveries into the box. But overall, the overall performance was awful. We didn't win that at all today.
Even individually, there were no surprises. The lineup got released. You're then suddenly expecting a draw. No surprises there, even a loss. You think about individual performances. No one thought Noble was going to smash it out of the park, I don't think. No surprises there. Sebastian Haller left isolated. Didn't get a return. No surprises there. Substitutions, puts Lanzini on. Performs well. No surprises there. Puts Yarmolenko on. Doesn't perform as well as Lanzini. No surprises there. It isn't magic. It's not magic. There's nothing magical about that. you get what you put into the game, and we just struggled both in game and with the formation that we put out. That was not a pretty watch at all. It was even a worse watch than it was a performance. A result. And we've now got a team arguably that are lacking confidence in a period where we need to have confidence because there's so many games left, right, and centre, and it is completely a momentum thing half the time in the Premier League, where suddenly you think you're world beaters and you can go and beat the best teams, and you do. And we, again, the lack of intent has led to a lack of, from my opinion, a lack of confidence, and I think we could get hurt against Southampton, and then we're playing Everton next, and suddenly then it's 2 points in 5, maybe potentially 2 points in 5 games. 2 points in 15 possible, and you're thinking, shit, like what's going on here? So yeah, that was a game that we needed to pick up 3 points in.
Yeah, draw is so disappointing.
It goes back to what I said earlier, and again, like I said, the performance, the heads drop a bit. Suddenly, we as West Ham fans, we have a bad habit of looking over our shoulders when things are going well. Now we are looking over our shoulders a little bit. There is no excuse to not start Benrahma against Southampton. Absolutely no excuse.
It'll be tougher against Southampton.
Let's be honest though. There is no way Benrahma is starting that game. He might start Lanzini, but there's no chance after he's been given 0 minutes in a game like this that we're chasing that he's going to start Saeed Benrahma.
I'm not saying that Moyes is going to. What I'm saying is there's no excuses when he doesn't. Like, he can't.
Well, there was no excuse not to start him in this game either. So, nothing's going to change.
It's just, if he doesn't start him in the next game, I think the board also need to be asked themselves questions. Because hang on, we've signed this player.
The board has been.
Broadly speaking, when Benrahma has played, he has played very well for us.
That's Moyes' decision, isn't it? Moyes made that.
He gave a penalty, but he's not the only West Ham player to do that. He hasn't performed badly for us at all.
I've got to be honest.
He hasn't been given the chance to he hasn't been given that many chances, but he hasn't played badly. So there should be no logical reason for Moyes not to give him a chance. So if I'm the board, I'm wondering why the fuck is David Moyes not?
Well, let's forget the board for a second, because the reality is the questions don't need to be asked of the board because the answers are already there. We know perfectly well what this board is like, and we know what we're going to get if they keep running this football club. So from my perspective, it's irrelevant. The board has, are completely to blame for a lot of the problems at the football club, including the personnel that we put out week after week and the players that we have on the bench. But you can only debate and discuss and try and drive change in the areas where change might possibly occur. It will never occur with that board. No matter what you say, no matter what arguments you try and have, the conversations that will make an impact, if any do at all, will be with what David Moyes is doing at this football club and the lineups that he's putting out with the players that he has week after week. I think, in relation to the board, the table is already set, and everything's been laid out, and you know what you're going to get, and you know what you will get in the months and years to come.
You can't get away from David Moyes. I mean, the board, I agree some of the personnel things, but we said the decision was to be made on that Noble role when he played that 10 role, and when you've got Lanzini that came on, I thought was very bright as well and was linking up play and trying to create things. Benrahma, 4 nows. I don't understand, and I understand surrendering possession like we have done throughout this season, but we've been great on transition. We've offered nothing going forward. We were constantly trying to find our lair, hoping he'd keep the ball up, and we weren't getting forward enough to even support him. So it was just it really felt like from the lineup, team selection, the way we played, that we were setting up for a draw. And there are huge concerns if that's the way, because Southampton and Everton are going to offer a lot more threat than Brighton. And if he's going to go into those games playing exactly the same, I can't see us getting many goals from it at all. Even though we've scored 2 today that we shouldn't have really scored.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be a lot of changes, starting with, and I don't want to be on I don't want to be on his back all the time, but it has to start with Noble. Noble has to come out of the team. And I think he'll stick with the back 5. It's, even though he conceded 2 goals, I think he'll stick with it. And I think he'll stick with Ben Johnson at left wing back. But we've got to have those wingers implemented again. that's when we were creating chances. And I think based on his performance, like you've said on his recent performances, Corey, Manu Lanzini has definitely earned himself a chance to be in that starting lineup as well as Benrahma. And I would like to see, in an ideal world, both of them starting. But again, we're dealing with Dither and Dave, and God knows what way he's going to swing for the Southampton game.
Let's make another thing clear as well. There is a reason why everyone is surprised when he puts up a 5-3-2 lineup. It's a lineup that doesn't get played a lot in professional football, and there's a reason for that. Is because you're not asking a lot of questions, and your game plan is tremendously clear if you set up a 5-3-2. And Brighton would have known exactly what we would have been trying to do the moment that lineup got released. The five at the back thing is frustrating because we do seem to play better in a five at the back system, but most of that was down to the personnel as well. I think you can only have someone like Cresswell at left centre back if you've got someone with a complete pace. To not only get forward and provide the option attacking wise, but then to also sprint back and try and help him out defensively as well. And Ben Johnson, I think, is a good solution defensive wise. And make no mistake, he got his goal today and it was incredibly well deserved. I mean, he's been at this football club since he was 7 years old. But he's a right-footed left wing back, and that does sum up some of the problems that we have at this club. I think about like a 4-3-2, a 4-2-3-1 rather. You need those attacking players at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't think we will ever see Lanzini and Benrahma start a Premier League game together because David Moyes just isn't that type of manager. I think we'll stick with the five at the back, and there's plenty of cause to say that's the right option, but I genuinely wonder where we're going to get our next goal. And the only thing I can think of is from a set piece. There's no clear style to our build-up play. You look at Brighton running through the middle. You look at teams like Chelsea with the pace on the wings. They've got options and they're clear to see before the ball gets kicked. With us, I'm just not sure. And so we need to take a risk. We need to get more creativity up top. And yeah, we were never going to, I don't think, well, it was very unlikely that we were going to get 3 points playing 9 defensive players today. And I just wonder what's going to happen and what changes are going to be made, because the changes have to be made. But, then, it's just one of those things where you have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's a different proposition in Southampton. Do you know what I mean? I think they play the high line. In fact, you'd look at the team we played today would probably suit us more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it might be a different challenge, but I don't think David Moyes cares about that, to be fair, because Brighton weren't really a challenge offensively today. But we made it perfectly clear that we were going to play the most defensive players that we've played in a Premier League game for God knows how many years. We played 9 defensive players against Brighton. So he might put 5 up top against Southampton. You never know.
This is what I don't understand. I don't get. We've gone from the 4-2-3-1 to the 4-5-1, now to 3-5-2. Then he switched it to almost like a 3-4-3 in the second half. Why does he keep changing this formation? What is he trying to achieve? I don't understand what he's trying to achieve. You stick to one formation and just keep that continuity.
Yeah. That striker option that's position is one that will continue to frustrate him and frustrate our team in terms of all the positions until we get it sorted. Sebastian Haller, I think, to be fair, through no fault of his own, is not a Premier League player. And it's not because of his ability, it's because of the way that Premier League games are played. He's got a complete lack of pace. We should have known what we were getting with Seb. And we've struggled to fit him in. I don't think we will ever fit him in. I don't think it doesn't matter how many goals he scores. He will never quite get going. And it's just an ability. It's just an ability thing. Again, not necessarily through his own fault. He's not doing things wrong per se, or it's not because he's doing things wrong that he's not performing. It's the things that he doesn't have. And, I was talking with Charles when you guys were both off.
Fundamental lack of scouting when we signed him, Angus.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking with Charles. You think about, some of our best Premier League strikers and even Premier League strikers at other clubs, the best performing ones usually have a tremendous bit of acceleration. You think about over the years for us, over the last couple of years, Arnie and Mikel are arguably our two best, over the last 5-6 years. And then you look at Vardy, you look at Aubameyang, albeit he's having a bit of a rough time at the moment. It's the pace. It's the pace, because it doesn't take a lot to exploit defence just by getting in behind. And that is something that we will never do, playing one up top with it being Sebastian Haller.
What's interesting with Haller, though, is clearly he doesn't have that pace. And I think Moyes is asking him at times to come to the left wing and pick it up and come deep. And it's like, the type of player that you have here, work to his strength rather than asking him to do what Antonio does, which is basically
100%,
the same thing.
100%. I touched on that quite a lot in my Hammers 11 spoiler regarding Sebastian Haller, in that he's expected to do what he can't do, and therefore he then gets hated for it.
No hate from my perspective, for the record.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying that people in the comments and people on Twitter, you've always been 100% subjective with your criticisms of Haller, as have I. I mean, even my rant about him against Leeds, it's just ultimately there's needs to be too much of an overhaul in this team for it to work for Haller to end up working, because the overhaul won't happen. Specifically with Dave, with his one-track mind, usually towards having he loves having one striker up top that runs into channels and does all the work for it. He did it at Everton, he did it here. He had that in Antovic, he had that in Antonio. He can't have that with Haller. So therefore, Haller won't last, in my opinion. On a personal level, I would love to see Haller. I don't want us to lose Haller, because I think he still is an asset to the team, as he's proven. And also because if we let him go, we probably won't replace him. We'll just have Antonio and a youth centre forwards, the rest of it. But he goes back to Germany and sorts himself out. I mean, this is where I think if we were to let him go and bring in Josh King, what have we got to lose? Because purely, and it's, again, nothing against Haller, he's not fitting into Moyes' systems, whereas a Josh King type of striker would fit this system that we play today, or would fit in Antonio. Not be as good. He's not in the same calibre as Antonio, but he fits that. And that's where I'm saying that maybe time is up for Haller, as much as I really don't want it to be, because I really rate him as a footballer. But there's too many things need to change for him to work in this team.
Yeah, make no mistake, he could go to another top 5 league and smash it up. Even now, with his lack of confidence and whatever, it won't take him many goals to get running in any other league, with the exception of the Premier League, it seems. So,
The thing is, as well, like, you look at today, I mean, when we come out, it said 5-3-2. And we thought Bowen could be in support. Okay, maybe this will work to his strength. At times, Bowen was coming out to the right-hand side because naturally he is a winger. And so
he was coming out wide right, and Haller was dropping deep, and there was just no one.
But also, mate, you've got no wing backs. The wing backs weren't pushing on far enough. The team weren't pushing on, and it's like you look at it, and at some point, I agree, Haller isn't the right player. But Moyes, you have to understand the player that you've got and try and get the best out of him. You can't just sit there and say, "Oh, Antonio will run the channels. Arnie would run the channels." Like, you have to change it with what the players you've got.
I'm with you, Corey, but it's for that reason that I just can't see.
No, neither can I.
I think purely because, who are the board going to back? This centre forward that hasn't scored that many goals that they've spent big money on, or this cheap manager that's effectively their yes man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I mean,
you are right, Dennis, though, about the recruitment in the fact that in January, give him the players that he needs.
Honestly, David Moyes whether you like him or not, you can't have a manager and not back him. If you like, I'm going to really, really nerdify myself. I'm a bit of the Brian Clough point of view when it comes to chairman and managers. If a chairman sticks his neck out for a manager, such as they have done for Moyes, whereas they get a bit of a free pass of Pellegrini, and that Pellegrini was attempt to, in their mind, I'm not saying it's right, but from their point of view, from Sullivan's point of view, right, we'll get this Premier League winning manager to placate the fans, and we'll give him this budget. And it didn't work out, that's fine. But now they have really stuck their neck out on the line for Moyes, and they have to back him. And if it doesn't work out, Brian Clough famously said, if the chairman appoints a manager and he fails him, the chairman should also go because it was his decision to employ him. Now, ultimately, if Sullivan Gold do not back David Moyes to the hilt as he wants to, irrelevant of contract talks, if they then at the end of the year go, well, Moyes, you didn't perform as well as we liked, we could have got top half. You didn't back him in January, lads. Moyes gets an easy excuse there. You're giving Moyes the excuse for his failures. Not saying that thingy, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you are setting him up for an easy out for when it comes to contract time. Say, well, David, we started so well. Why didn't we finish top 10? Well, you didn't back me in January. Back him in January. He's not asking for a life-changing amount of money to sign these players, in my opinion.
Like 10 mil to get two of the players that use him.
Yeah, so £10 million, which is water off a duck's back. David Sullivan is a fucking billionaire. Let's forget that. Let's not forget that, lads. And that's not even.
The one thing,
he is a fucking billionaire.
The one thing that is, it's bizarre though, mate. Like even like the changes of the formation, we've sat here and said Moyes will never. I've said Moyes won't change a side. Very rarely interpret it to change it as much as he has done in the past few games. It's actually more concerning.
Well, this is what I was going to say, Corey, is that like I understand. I mean, you know, we can talk all day long about how inept the top of the hierarchy is at the club, and you know that's obviously a big part to do with a lot of this recent lack of success we've had. But like you know, like you say, I mean, he does, although it's not great, he does have a good enough squad of players to choose from, Moyes. And for a while, he's been, you know, relatively consistent in choosing the right players and the right formation. And what worries me is the fact that he just willingly throws that away for no reason, just to. I don't even know what the reason is. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this press conference to find out why he chose that selection. But you know, I mean, it is worrying that obviously we want recruitment and we want money behind the manager, and I completely agree with that. But you also want a manager who's not going to just tinker about for the sake of it, who's not going to, you know, put bloody 33-year-old Mark Noble over 23, 24-year-old Benrahma. You know, there are some severely basic mistakes that Moyes is making, which, you know, I'm seeing people on Twitter already who are big Moyes in 3-year contracts, you know, these kind of people already starting to have doubts. And this is the trouble with Moyes, is that I just don't think he is going to, like, he's always going to have a mistake in him. He's always going to make a weird decision that's not going to be the fans' liking. And, you know, today I was hoping to be proved wrong. I really was. But, you know, it was just such a poor decision from the off. We all knew it, and we all saw the consequences of that.
I think Dennis said it as well before the game. He said, this is the type of game that we look back on and say, why on earth did we draw this game? Like, why did we lose points?
I said, if we were, I said,
it is that type of game.
You said it was 0-0 and somehow we scored.
No goals.
At the end of the look back and go, if only we had performed better in that game, and then going into the next game with some momentum, and then the next game with some momentum. I'm glad we got the point to sort of effectively stop what could be a rot, because I genuinely, you know, going to say that I'm predicting defeats against Southampton and Everton, lads. I watched Southampton last night, and like I said, if it wasn't for some very questionable VAR decisions, they could have won that game 2-0, and they looked comfortable the entire time against Fulham. And Fulham have improved a lot, and we struggled against Fulham. Another season, we probably would have drawn that goal 0-0 with Fulham, or Lookman takes that penalty properly, you know. Against Villa, we got a very lucky VAR decision, and Watkins beaning up a penalty himself. And Sheffield United, McBurney hits the crossbar when it was easier to score. Another game, we probably lose to Villa, and we draw with Fulham and Sheffield United another season, you know.
To be fair, another game we lose 3-0 to Tottenham as well, you know.
Yeah, I get better.
Well, that was awful. That gets thrown under the carpet quite a bit, actually. I mean, I was sitting there to Charles in that game saying that is the worst I've ever. It was a completely wrong decision.
Moyes out.
The thing is, it's like, I just wish Moyes would go back to what worked. The wing-backs work, the free forwards work. I get Allaire isn't really suited for the system, but I just feel like the team performs better as a whole. Chopping and changing it, they don't know their roles. They're not sure when to press, when to sit.
What have me and Angus been crying out for both times? So, okay, Angus doesn't necessarily cry. He just murmurs in agreement. But either Haller or Yarmolenko dropping deep as a central attacking forward with two high wingers of Bowen and Benrahma up top. That will fucking work offensively. Defensively, you've got to sort the rest of it out because obviously then you do have to worry about it being two separate fucking teams. But offensively, that will work with just Haller dropping back and arriving late in the box, or Yarmolenko dropping deep and playing the others in, because Haller, what he lacks in passing, Yarmolenko's got in passing, you know? That would work, but Moyes doesn't want to commit too much moving forwards, in my opinion. He likes having players behind the ball.
Yeah, it's interesting going back to the results thing. Obviously, the Watford manager got sacked last week, and they were fifth in the table at that point. And lots of people were asking questions of why.
And Leslie, if you're still watching, can you please explain to me why the fuck that happened? Because
so lots of questions were being asked of why he's been sacked. Anyway, this Watford fan has written up a spreadsheet of all the games and all the results, which don't look too bad, and then the minutes that they actually performed well in. And it seems a bit like that with West Ham. Tottenham game, good from the 80th minute to the 90th minute. You know, looked like a game like this, good from the 50th minute to when we scored, then switched off again, then switched back on. The Fulham game, good for 20 minutes maybe. Sheffield United, good for 5 minutes, arguably. You know, really good for 5 minutes. And it seems like, you know, the consistency across 90 minutes were there at the start of the season. You know, both in the Leicester game and the Wolves game, no surprises that we won those games, 7-0 on aggregate. And then, when you look into it a bit more over the last month and a half, you see these glimpses of play, and then there's the inconsistency across the 90th minute, and there's no surprises that now there's starting to be inconsistency in the results. Going back as well very quickly, Corey, you said about 5 minutes ago about, there's a way to fit Sebastian Haller into our team. Yeah, definitely there is. Not as a number 9, but yeah, potentially as a cam. Yeah. But then you said David Moyes is someone that will always stick to his formation, and he doesn't like to change things, and almost it's concerning that he's looking to change things. Well, the thing is, I think he knows that Antonio is going to be back in a week or two. And so he's just gone, fuck it, I'll do what I can with the team that I've got. Right. And, Mickey will be back in, and then I won't have to change things again. We'll just go back to the way it is.
He'll be rushed back and he'll be injured again.
But to be fair,
and that's why
it's a sackable offence if he does that again. It's a sackable offence.
But Mickey would obviously offer something to the side if he'd played today. Yeah, but I actually think the overall performance from the team just wasn't good enough. And the same concerns we'd have still be there.
Yeah, a lot of it goes down to I kind of overlooked this comment, but it was actually, I remember seeing it and thinking, that's quite true at the end of the day. The one where it was we just looked lethargic today. I think a lot has to be said for that. We just individually, there were some key mistakes. The crosses into the box were horrendous, and that's irrespective of formation, all of that. Soucek hitting the first man in the first half. And so, a lot of it does come down to that at the end of the day.
I thought Soucek was the only one that really offered a bit of energy at times. Like, I know Lanzini when he came, but Soucek was towards the end of the game was trying something or getting forward, but the rest of it was just a team.
It's a bad day when Rice isn't having an amazing game. He wasn't terrible, but he
just got outnumbered in the midfield, mate. You know what I mean? Anyone could have seen it from a mile away. Unfortunately, Moyes decided to let Brighton have the ball.
He's not Superman, he can't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
People will go, I'm not saying you, Charles, but other people from other teams will say, he had a bad performance today. I'm like, yeah, when Brighton have got so much of the ball, pushing their centre-backs in midfield, he can only do so much.
Yeah, and nobody else on the team is offering anything. So, it's the onus is definitely not on him. But, I mean, like you say, we set up for this. We set up for everything. And that first half, I mean, we can't overstate how terrible that first half was. It was abysmal. It was genuinely the worst half of football I've seen from us this season.
Well, we weren't playing football. That was the problem. There was nothing there. There was nothing to see. It was
but like you were saying, Angus, I mean, we did look lethargic, and Corey was saying that we've had that extra day break. We really shouldn't be looking that tired unless it was part of the kind of instructions from Moyes to just.
That's what I think it is. But that's what I think it is. That's what really worries me. That kind of instruction to back off Brighton hasn't done his homework. It's like, God, I can't believe we've just watched that. I don't even feel like I've watched a game of football. I feel like we've nicked it with 2 goals that we shouldn't have really nicked, and that's it. And we've got a point somehow.
Yeah, I feel like we started watching this game about 7 hours ago.
Yeah, I was literally about to say the exact same thing. Yeah, that is so true.
Absolutely terrible. Right, I'm going to wrap it up, lads, because I don't know. I've got to try and break this down. Thanks to everyone.
Yeah, we'll be back in 2 days for Southampton.
2 days, yeah. We're back for the Southampton game. Hopefully, we'll be able
Do it
to
all again.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have to do it, unfortunately, all again on the back of this. Thanks to Angus, Charles, Dennis. Check out their socials. Like the video, as I always say, and subscribe if you're new. We've had some decent viewership this time around, despite the poor results. So thank you so much for that. I'll return this evening for a post-match reaction, which should be really, really interesting to try and break that down. And until the Southampton game, take care.